Hello, Liza. How do you do?
Knock, knock on wood. I hope I'm better too far. Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land.
What's up, guys? How are we doing today? How are we doing? What's up, Speakeasy Man? Thanks for the raid. I was just chilling, having breakfast, bro. When you taunted me into the raid, I was doing. I got to do some video editing this afternoon before I go, and we're going to I'm going to continue Speakeasy's grifting theme, guys. I'm gonna continue it. Maximum griftage today over the internet. We got to kind of keep it going. What if I didn't have breakfast? I'd still be fucking hungry. If I didn't, I had a little bit. You guys caught me like right as I was just relaxing, and my mom called, and the Easy's like, "Let's go," and I'm like, "Mom, gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go do the cool stuff with the cool kids during the cool time of the morning." All right, what are we going to talk about besides grifting? Let's just talk. We can talk grifting. I mean, I like grifting. Do you guys catch? I know Speakeasy was on the panel for a little while before he went live last night, and even after he went live last night. But did you guys catch the based Oracle debacle last night? And if you didn't watch the whole thing, I did not watch it till the end because it just kind of got old and was just recycling through the various points. But if you didn't catch it, he's in theory he's supposed to be able to prove that Andrew Wilson is a grifter, and that he's and a thief or liar or some shit. I don't fucking know. The story changes. And I got to tell you guys, I like you guys. You guys are cool. So I'm going to tell you this. This is just my take on it. This is no bias in either direction. I would tell Andrew the same thing. But Andrew's going to wipe the fucking floor with based Oracle. He didn't even have an answer when he got called out for lying right dead to Jake's face. He didn't have an answer for that. Not at all. He didn't. And it was, they rolled the tape. I said, roll the tape. They rolled the tape. When they rolled the tape, and I was behind the scenes, I will freely admit that I was behind the scenes. I was the provocateur. I went to one of my guys and said, "Hey, let's pull up that tape." They said, "Hey, man, it's taking me too long." I went to Glenn, and I'm like, "Glenn, do you have the tape?" And he's like, "Fuck yeah, I do." And I'm like, Glenn, get that tape to Jake. We need this tape." And so I will freely admit that I was a provocateur because I fucking hate liars. I fucking hate them. Okay? There's no reason to fucking lie. Just say, "Hey, yeah, you know what? I said I'd pay for Glenn, but now I don't want to. I don't have the budget for it. So in that one issue, I'm going to bitch out, but I'm still going to kick your ass, Andrew." That's how a man deals with it. That's a man takes his fucking sack, and he stands up and he says, "Yeah, I can't pay. I can't afford it. I can't afford to pay for Glenn to be there. Sorry." Or Glenn pissed me off and I don't want to fucking pay for him now. Either way, the guy running around calling everybody fucking ball washers, including me, yours truly, the guy in front of you now has been called a ball washer by the non-based Flopical. The Flopical has come out and said, first thing Jake asked him, one of the first things that Jake asked him, did you agree to pay for Glenn? No, I did not. He literally said that. Go back, check tape. He said, nope, I didn't. Never said that. He said it twice. Twice. Greed. So, and look, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I know all you guys know this, but I got to say it out loud. You can't do that, dude. So if that's how he's going to conduct himself in the debate with Andrew, he's going to get shellacked. I mean, literally shellacked. And I've never called. So he asked me once if I had called him a liar, and I said I had not. And he said, "Have you ever heard me lie?" And I said I had not. But now I fucking have. Now I fucking have. And now if you ask me that, I've heard you fucking lie live on screen, right? It was that was not a recording. There was no manipulation there. There's no editing. That shit was live 5x5. So, and by the way, I watched the original challenge go down. I thought it was dumb as fuck then. Why would you do that? Why would you go under what fucking amount of drugs do you have to be to agree to go debate someone in another fucking state and pay them $1,000? And this is internet bullshit, dudes. Hey, 307 Coyote Killer, man. Have a good one, man. You got get some sleep, feel better, be strong, do all the cool shit, right? Do all the cool shit. So, yeah. Right, yeah. So it was very funny. So Andrew literally had to go over step by step. Andrew, you're not so bright. Well, fucking answer the question, dumbass. Shut the fuck up. And it was just weird, really strange. So, he's going to keep coming at people that he thinks he can come at, like myself and Glenn and Easy. And he's going to keep coming at those guys, but he's not going to go back after Andrew. My prediction is, and by the way, I've been invited to be there, and my wife last night, I was talking to my wife, I'm like, do you think I should still go? And she's like, fuck yeah, you should. So I will be in Michigan at the appointed date, at the appointed time. We will see if Based Oracle will be. My fat ass will drag my fat ass all the way up there, and we'll see if the thin man has the nuts to show up, because apparently only ball washers have enough nuts to get there. That's right, Overlord. Or I don't know who you are, Overlord. Clay? How do you say that? Clay? We'll all be there. I'm not an AK guy, bro. I'm not I'm just not an AK guy. I'm sorry. But apologies. I'm not an AK guy. Here you go. I got this for you. There you go. How about that? Does that work for you? Does that work for you? Here, let me do it this way. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's get back out of that. Here, I'll just do this. Put me back up there, pull this down. Yeah, I'm not an AK guy. I like to hit the shit I aim at. That's not going to be Lake Michigan. That's going to be the fucking tears of sadness. No, ma'am, that's not a vest. That is that's something else. Something else. Plate carrier. That's correct. That is a plate carrier. That is indeed exactly what that is. Good start to the day. Fuck yeah, it is. Fuck yes, it is. Now, man, you need an M2 or a 1301. 1301 Tactical is a great firearm. So, anyway, yeah. So look, like I said, I predict my prediction. This is not actually even a prediction. This is just what's going to fucking happen. Old Based Oracle is going to start coming at all of the other creators in this space. Myself, probably not me so much because I'm not really a debater. I'm just a discussion guy. But he's going to come at Easy and Glenn and everybody else, and he will be, and he's gonna just keep coming at him and acting like a big dog and talking shit. But he will not. I predict that he will not show up in Michigan. My prediction right now is, you know what ghost loading is? Tell me more. So yes, he is actually. My prediction is that he either doesn't show, or if he does show, he wimps out. My guess is he's going to come up sick. He's going to be under the weather. So anyway, DJ Sonic Man, have a good one, buddy. We'll see you later. Like and subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel. Like and subscribe to my channel. I do entertaining shit on the internet every once in a while. So, but yeah. That would be a mistake on his part, on a lot of levels. First of all, most of the community already hates him. And one of the things that I found that most people in this community hate above all else is the idea that someone will dox them for the fuck of it. And so that would be literally like the worst possible thing he could do. In my opinion, the best thing for him to do is just back up a little bit, suck up a little humility, and just be quiet for a little while until everybody just lets this roll off their shoulders, because that's what'll happen. If he just shuts his fucking mouth, we'll all forget about this. I don't give a shit. I honestly don't give a shit. I just don't like people that fucking lie. I mean, he can come at me for being a fat fuck or stupid or not understanding this or not understanding that. Sure, why not? Fuck, I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I made my entire living playing with race cars. How fucking smart can I be? However, I'm not somebody that's dumb enough to make a challenge I'm not willing to live up to. So that's all. That's as smart as I am. So yeah. STC Media. Good to see you, bro. Make sure you hit the button on the way out. With Dad being down. Okay. Awesome. Beaten into the brain. That's good. That's good. Everybody should have that. That's good. I'm a competitive shooter myself. Matter of fact, I'm changing out all this because at least 2 of those guns are going shooting this weekend at a match. So I got it. My morning was supposed to be me resetting the set, but I can't do that. So, but Andrew, my impression is Andrew is much more prepared than I am. I think he has a lot of stuff. He's been swatted a couple of times. So no, ma'am, I did sports car racing. My intro, my normal intro reel is actually currently actual footage from in my cars at a couple of different venues, including the Pikes Peak hill climb. I am the cool dad. That's true. That is true. Ask either of my sons. I am the cool. Fuck, you're right, dude. God damn it. What was I thinking? Holy crap. Oh my God. I've made such a mistake. God damn it. Bill Hicks Bill Hicks has shown me the light, folks. Bill Hicks has done it. I'm an idiot. What was I thinking? I was out of my league, guys. Somebody clip this. I was out of my league. What the fuck was I thinking? Holy shit. He is the most virtuous person with the most nuanced takes. He doesn't need anybody liking him because he's the most moral person to exist ever, according to him. Holy shit. I didn't say we'd forget about it. I'd say we just wouldn't bother mentioning it anymore. Yeah, right. That's why I don't give a shit about somebody finding out who I will. Look, I have said many times, if you search for me and you can't find my actual phone number in 4 minutes, you suck at life. You suck at the internet, and you shouldn't be on the internet playing with us. Multi-gun sport. I'm shooting a 3-gun. I'm actually going to shoot 2-gun this weekend, and I might shoot 2-gun armored just to make it harder on myself. I might shoot 3-gun. They said there's going to be a lot of cool shotgun stuff this weekend, which is unusual. They usually have like nine targets a stage, which is not not a big, that's not enough. I want to do everything. Even if he was a grifter, I wouldn't debate Andrew for $1,000. Yeah, that's. I mean, look. Here's the thing. How is Andrew a grifter when people are willingly sending him money and he does what he says he's going to do? I don't get that. Well, there's sprint cars, midgets. There's late model, a lot of that stuff. I'm in Tennessee. Yes, ma'am. I am. Yes, ma'am. I'm in Tennessee. I've been Southern my whole life. We will accept Arkansas as somewhat Southern. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. So, what's my L, bro? You're going to have to be more specific. I should have known better. You're right. I overreached. I'm sorry. But Bill Hicks helped me out. Bill Hicks helped me out. He understands all. He's way smarter than I am. He looks like every dude that's in your hometown that doesn't have a girlfriend and is trying to find a new job. But he actually, I think he's, when I was on his show once and we talked, and he seemed like he was a pretty smart businessman. I think he works in gemstones or some shit. I don't know. So literally California, and I'm published. Okay. Yeah. I'm not published though, but I have been on TV a couple of times. My fat ass on TV. You aren't wrong, Special K. You are not wrong. I like it. I like where your head's at. Yeah, the swatting attack thing is, that's a real thing, but we would have to, I'm fairly good terms with my local police department. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah, vet school, huh? That's I can't do that. I reckon it is. The interesting thing is that I actually I like as a human, as someone just to sit around and bullshit with. I like Based Oracle. The problem I have with him is that he started this war and now he's lying, and he got caught lying, and he didn't say, hey, you know what, you're right, I misremembered, I did say that. You know what he did? He did this. Do you guys remember? He did this. And wait, hold on, I don't have, where's my fucking hat? Fuck, I don't have a flat. Fuck, I don't have a flat bill hat out here, guys. God Blessed I don't have. He did this. You know. Special case swatting is where someone will call up your local police department, give your address, which would be my address, would be very hard to find. But they call up the local police department, give your address, and say that they are you, and that they have a fire that you have a firearm, and you're you're like pointing it at your family or some crap like that. It's very, very toxic thing. Yeah, can't deal with liars. Just be fucking honest. So I actually built this office for my wife to work out of during COVID. And then I built a sunroom on the back of the house. And she likes that better. So she works in there now. And I got pushed out here, which is better because I can control all the light, and it's really like a really good studio. So, yeah. Wahoo! What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Seen the pattern Bo is doing it too many times. He brings you in by saying stuff you agree with, then he trolls make. See, I don't know if he's trolling or if he's just like I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, exactly like a 5150. Exactly like that, except a SWAT team shows up and points guns at you. I retired in 2016 at 45. And basically, if you want the long story, is I never had an adult job. I went from college. In college, I managed movie theaters, and I did some racing stuff on the side. I got out of college. I got more and more into racing. Eventually, I ended up working in a race shop in North Carolina, and then I worked for them for a couple of years, and then I did some mercenary work for a couple of years working with race cars, and then I ended up in Colorado at a race shop at a pretty high level, and I did restoration and racing, a lot of vintage cars, because I've done a lot of vintage cars. Most of my work was with Porsche originally, but I've done Vipers, and I was part of the C5R program. And then in 2004, I think it was 2000, yeah, somewhere around 2003. I think it was 2003. I went out on my own, and and I had my own. I had a bunch of shops from 2003 to 2016 when I retired, and I had a body shop, I had a service shop, I had a tuning shop, and I had, of course, the race shop. And I spent all my time in the race shop, and I did a bunch of racing. So it's pretty good. Yeah. So that's what I did. I was in, and I still do. I'm still involved very slightly in racing, just not that much. So yeah. See, if you my house, I've got two kids. I have a guest room that we can't really turn into a studio. So I do have a room that could be a studio, but the problem is then, with kids in the house, even if you're even the best soundproofing you can get, it's still going to be tough. It's gonna be tough. He does kind of act like a punk. I don't know. Look, I like the guy. I don't hate him. I'm. I think that I think he's being fucked up right now because he lied. He got caught lying. He bullshit. He did a bullshit attack on Glenn for no fucking purpose I can see at all. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen anybody do since I was probably 40. And even then, I mean, this is just not I don't know. I think he's frustrated. I don't know. Look, I don't know the guy. I'm not in his brain. I'm not in his social circle. I don't know what the fuck's going on with him. All I know is that he fucking lied and he's going to get his ass creased by Andrew if he shows up, which I don't think he's going to show up. That could be. That could be. No, I think he legitimately thinks that he is I think that he legitimately thinks that he is the moral warrior and to slay all of us immoral demons and to show us the errors of our way, which is this is fucked up. And I did a whole show on this, and I will get into this in just 1 minute after I kind of catch up. But one of the things that's most fucked up in this community, and base defines this fuck up, is we eat our own, right? Like, look, I don't agree with everything Easy says, but I'm not gonna fucking go on here and just fucking shout about it for 20 hours and then go on his stream and call him out about shit just because we disagree this much. We agree this fucking much, right? Like it's like Andrew says, like 7% that we disagree on. Why are we frying each other over the 7% that we disagree about? And what's worse is if Andrew shows a path to making money doing this, and making money keeps you doing it, why would you not follow that, emulate it, modify it to fit your personality, and fucking do it? Why wouldn't you fucking do that? That's what I'm doing. I'm doing that. I'm trying to figure it out right now. I can't be Andrew, obviously. I'm not a debate guy, really. So how do I monetize what I'm doing? You know, like I've got super chats enabled, but I don't really ask for super chats all the time. And maybe I should. I don't know. I'm getting membership set up, but I haven't advertised that. My problem is I don't advertise anything. I just sit here and talk. So, but I'm watching Andrew to see what Andrew does because he's got a formula. He's got he's got the secret sauce. And I'm not jealous of that. I want to learn from it. And I honestly believe that Base is jealous of Andrew's success. I don't see any other answer. And if he has an answer that he can articulate without being a dick, I'm willing to listen. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, degenerate spaces. Yeah. Yeah, guys, go down and like, guys. I mean, we got 106 people in here right now, man. So I don't, and I actually killed all the motorsports stuff a long time ago. You can still find the channel; it still exists, but there's no motorsports. There's some airplane stuff on there, but it's crappy. So, but we'll do more airplane stuff. I will. I promise it. No, I don't think he's a Fed. I don't think he's a Fed. I think Base is just. I think he's frustrated. I think that I don't know. I got no idea. All right, Cam. So here's the deal. This is what happened. Last night, he was asked by Jake on VO Pod straight up, no miscommunication possible. You agreed to pay for Glenn's expenses to the to the debate with Andrew. Base did not hesitate and said, "No, I didn't. No, I'm not doing that. I didn't agree to that." So the show goes on, and I actually had Jack, who's in the chat now. I had him working behind the scenes to try and pull up the footage, but there's just so much footage, and it was taking too long. So I asked Glenn. I said, "Glenn, do you have the footage?" Glenn's like, "Yeah, I got it." I'm like, "Okay, good. Get it to Jake." And I don't know that he could get it to Jake. I don't know what was going on there, but Jake or Glenn, I forget which one, then played the footage of Base agreeing to cover Glenn's expenses twice. He agreed twice. He agreed once because literally at the very beginning of the agreement, it was stated clearly that he was going to be responsible for everything to get Glenn there, set up the booth, all of that. That was all on him. And Andrew was paying nothing of it. And he agreed to it again because Andrew suggested or invited Glenn to stay in his house for the debate. That's a reasonable ask or reasonable offer. I would do the same. And Base disagreed because that would be favoritism. And Andrew agreed. Yep. Okay. I can see that. I could see how that would be favoritism. And so then he agreed to pay for Glenn's Airbnb while he was there. Now I'm, or hotel or whatever, but whatever Glenn's accommodations were. And he didn't I had to go right after that. I had to walk my dog. I took a shower, went to bed. Well, I'd watched some other podcast stuff. And then I went to bed. So I didn't actually see the rest of it. But during the entire time that the video was playing, Base didn't say anything at all. When he was asked about it, he didn't say anything. So that's what it is. That's gross. Don't say that. Don't say that over. I was starting to like you, Overlord Kai. You were starting to be cool. Well, I think he's snarky. I mean, he's snarky. Yeah. See, that's a good point, Wahoo. I got quit. I mean, but I do like. I mean, I don't have a problem with the guy. I don't want to. It's not like it's not like I wish him ill will. I simply. This is a bad move on his part. I would tell any. You know what? I'm actually being really exceptionally nice to him because if I didn't like him, if I just didn't give a shit at all, I wouldn't even bother telling him. I'd just let him walk into and get wrecked by Andrew. If he thinks I'm being mean by this, he's fucked in the head. I'm actually being the kindness. I'm giving him the kindness that I would give real friends, and tell them, hey, dude, you're fucking up. Don't do it. Stop doing it. You need to own your shit. And I usually reserve that only for friends of mine. I do not, in general, give a shit if other people fuck up their lives. I don't get involved in that. But in this case, in this one case, I'm literally sitting here telling, I've told him several times, don't do this, in various ways. So guys, you guys are killing the chat. I'm going to have to. Yes, that is awesome. Jack comes in with a Canadian $2. I do take fake money, so that's good. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that, brother. I do. I used to street race too, and I used to help my tuning shop built a lot of street racing cars. It's interesting because I have a lot of people who think that I come off as a cop. I give a cop vibe, and especially in person, I guess. And I'm like, no, I kind of was on the other side of that rainbow. I mean, I wasn't actually a criminal, but I don't know that I was a cop. So, this is it. So, well, then he's fucking delusional, Bill. Okay, he's fucking delusional. I mean, there's no way. First of all, you can't prove that Andrew's a grifter. Everything that Andrew, look, I bought a membership to the Crucible. I get the videos. I pay him for a super chat. The super chat shows up and he reads it. I don't know what fucking grift it could be. I think there's some truth to that. If I knew how to do that, I would, Special K, but you have to understand that I'm old. I'm old as fuck. And I don't know how to do such things. I need to get a tech guy to help me out with that shit. Could be. Look, that dude called me a ball washer. All right. I mean, he called me a ball washer. Right? There's no coming back from that, bro. We're not going to be friends now. This tends to be the way of it. Yeah, he's out of his debt. Based was I don't know if he's married, but he was a Marine. So, for whatever that means. I usually really like Marines, actually. I covered that in the very beginning of this, Cam. Maybe and that's what I said. Maybe he just doesn't have the money. Well, then he could just be honest and come out and say, "Look, I'm not going to pay for it. I don't have the money. I thought I would. I thought I would be able to cover it. I can't cover it. Sorry." Sure. Send me your info. I've got, and I have a lot of people that help. Yes, and that he would pay him money up front before the debate, all that stuff. Bill Hicks throws a $2 Australian, more funny money coming in today. $2 Australian. Let's get the grift train rolling. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He disagreed. He made a big stink of it when Andrew offered for Glenn to stay for free in his house. I will read all super chats. I won't read all of the chats, but I will read all of the super chats. I promise. I have not. Okay, that's cool. You can do that. See, this is a good question posed by the Crucible Limited. I'm not sure if that's Andrew or Andrew's Clips guy. It's hard to tell. Andrew has some different accounts. So, I don't know how Andrew. I don't. So here's the thing. I don't expect him to show up. I no longer. I did. I will be honest. I thought for sure 100% based has no choice but to show up. But I now believe. I believe that there's no way that base is going to show up. I don't. I just don't. No, Jack sends in another $2. By the way, I call just another Canadian Jack, which is cool. Welcome, Intel Wild. I'm glad to see you here in the chat today. I've missed you the last couple of chats. Maybe you were here and I just didn't see you, but I'm glad you made the stream, brother. Glad you saved the stream. I fuck with you, Grid one, but honestly, I don't give a shit about Andrew, and I'm not a fanboy like half the internet. I'm learning. I just don't care for his content. Plus, I'm not welcome with another. I'm not welcome with another login. Okay, but here's the thing. You don't have to like everybody. Like this is a big deal, right? Like this is the thing that I don't understand. There are people I just don't fucking like. I just don't talk to them, and if they show up, I just fucking leave, or I, I'll say, hey, I'll say to the host, hey, you know what? I got to go or he's got to go because I can't. Two of us in the same room isn't going to happen. I don't understand why people can't just sack up and do things the way it's supposed to be. The Crucible Limited and Bill Hicks would like to know if you got his dono. He's concerned about that. Chief Wahoo with the dunk here. That is correct. See, I believe that. Preying on kindness. Then you start seeing the reality, the patterns, as he says. You start noticing things, and then it comes out. I don't really talk about street racing or anything, but we do talk about cool stuff. So tell them to tune in because we do talk about good stuff. Team Fatty sends in €20. Apparently just because he wants to support. Thanks, Team Fatty. I appreciate it, brother. I don't mean this as a grift. So if you want me to say something or if you've got a comment to make, just send it in, man. Send it in. I'll read it. No grifting here, brother. No grifting here. All right. He does. He does do that. You do have to be a member, but I mean, that's a small price to pay. If you're helping Glenn, you can help me. That's for sure. All right, guys, stand by 1 second. I apologize. I hate dead air, but I got a message. I gotta get in. Are we not men? Tell that fellow that that link has been sent. Link has been sent. Everybody like to stream, guys. I got to start harping on that. I have not been. Is one of the things about me. I just never was saying. I was not one of those guys that said like and subscribe and all that, but now I have to be because it's important. And my analytics are weird, so we got to get the YouTube happy with me, ish. Grungehead throwing us recycle paper. That's funny. That's hilarious, guys. We have a guest coming in. It's great, Andrew Wilson. Good morning, sir.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I am shocked that you were awake after that enduro that you pulled last night.
Oh my God, it was so brutal. We weren't even done till about 6 a.m. my time.
That's what I heard. And I went to bed after that last super chat. I did have to kind of confront a guy who was mouthy to me in your chat. Who told me that I had a 50% what did he call it? Bad faith argument ratio. And I'm like, well, what bad faith have I said? And he's like, well, you ask bullshit questions. I'm like, I don't ask any questions. I throw grenades and I see what happens. That's what I do. It's my thing on the whatever.
Oh.
And but it was funny. I have a good time with it.
Yeah, I didn't catch that exchange.
That's all right. It was just fun. It was a good time.
You know how you after a while you get like the hardwired time thing where you can go to bed at 2 hours before you normally get up and you're still going to be up at that time no matter what.
Yeah. To this day, I get up at 5:30 every morning. Cannot stop it.
That's basically where I'm at is, so I have kind of something of a set schedule when I go to sleep, when I wake up. And it's just kind of more of a third shift schedule, right?
Okay.
So
10 to 6,
so
then, yeah.
Yeah. So and I just wake up, same, you know what I mean? Same time, no matter what. So anyway, to kind of dive in on this, yeah, I was actually kind of surprised at the avenue taken there. So my understand was that Body Odor BO, he was going to take care of Lawrence's expenses, and so I kind of have a theory as to why this is coming up as a problem suddenly out of the blue. So he was using Glenn as a proxy to, set various things up, right? Well, it appears that they had this kind of falling out, and the timing of the falling out is really bizarre. and what it's over is even more bizarre. Right?
Well, the whole the Zerka thing, right?
Yeah, that he said that Zerka's his friend. It's like, so what? You know what I mean?
Right.
What? Who cares? But no, just nobody would care about that. No rational, reasonable actor would give a shit that Glenn Lawrence has said that Zerka's his friend. Just how that would equate to, even if everything said about Zerk is true. How would that be a problem from Glenn's perspective that he said that? I don't even understand that. That's kind of the dumbest shit that I've ever heard.
It's a really interesting thing because, I was watching Glenn's podcast about that yesterday, and I was listening to it as I was working on my airplane, which is a great thing to do while you're working on an airplane is listen to somebody, go over stuff that's just so weird, so weird. And just the way it went
why don't you rub in that you have an airplane one more time for me, Grid? God, one more time.
I'm putting it in my intro roll next. Not my personal one. I'm putting it in my intro roll. Yeah, I am.
That's fair.
And
that's fair.
And not my personal airplane, because mine's still being, I'm getting it ready for paint, but one that is very similar to mine, and it's a badass footage. And so it was really weird the way that Base just kind of like out of the fucking blue sends him a tweet about asking him about, hey, did you see this? Like, you couldn't do that on a Discord PM, or you couldn't do it in a way that would give Glenn time to look at it and think about it. And, of course, Glenn was like, I'm working. I'm not paying attention, which is the exact answer I would give. Half the time, half the shit that I get through the day, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll look at it later, because I don't have, I'm doing something. And so I absolutely understand Glenn's point of view. I can't see Base's point of view of how he gets from A to fucking Y. It's got to be the most convoluted alphabet trail ever to get there.
And well, it just makes no sense. Who cares, right?
And I'm with Glenn. I'm with Glenn's.
Just who gives a shit?
Yeah, I'm with Glenn's position that what he's trying to do is, get rid of Glenn, push Glenn out, right? Or create this tension between him and Glenn, so he can say, well, Glenn can't be my moderator anymore. I'm not paying for that fucker. And then not do the debate. I told my wife last night, I said, I don't think he's going to go to the debate. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's building in excuses. He's front loading in all of the possible excuses he can have. Now, I don't know. He publicly invited me. I will be happy to moderate. Since I've already made plans to be there. If Glenn,
but you're going to,
I will pay my own expenses.
Okay, so you're going to but that's kind of letting him off the hook, right?
At this point, I want to see him get his ass kicked bad enough that I'll put skin in the game.
Okay. Well, the thing is like, I don't care. If you want to moderate, I'm fine with that. If he says publicly that he's fine with that, I'm fine with that. I don't give a shit.
It's on tape.
But the thing that gets me is, Glenn was supposed to be the guy who was going to secure a studio for this, or secure some area where we could do this debate, this kind of thing. So absent him doing the debate, what was the alternative to this supposed to be exactly?
Well, originally what I had thought, and I could be wrong, because I've really only focused on the agreement part. I didn't go back through the earlier part of that discussion. My recollection is that you had said that you were open to doing it in your place and Base in your studio, and Base objected to that. And that's why Glenn said, well, I've got a guy who has a studio in the area.
Yeah, I'm not letting. I mean, no reasonable man's going to let this guy anywhere near him. I'm not going to let this guy anywhere near my house.
Yeah. I would not now for sure. He's shown himself to act in such bad faith. And
I'm not going to. Well, I'm not doing that. No fucking way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
doing that.
it's just so erratic.
But I also shouldn't need to, right? If he
Right.
wants to do this debate, then and he demands it in person, not in video. You know what I mean? He could easily have done the way it would have saved everybody a lot of time, effort, and money, including him, if he just been like, well, we'll just do a video debate, and I'll pay you $1,000, right? Because I want to do it so bad. That still would have saved him a ton more money, but he demanded it's in person. So I think it's just kind of the pride of trying to keep up with his own demands.
Yeah, his ego's writing the checks, and now he's all of a sudden they're due, right?
Yeah, now all of a sudden they're due, but it's really a strange dynamic because Body Odor is really unlikable, right? He's just a straight up unlikable person, and Glenn Lawrence is not. Glenn Lawrence, on the other hand, is a very, very likable, affable person.
Oh,
It's very hard. It's very hard for people to dislike Glenn. And one of the kind of endearing qualities that the guy has is that he comes off as being so fucking genuine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing that makes him such a likable guy. He comes off as being very genuine. He doesn't come off as having kind of these alternative agendas, or that he's rushing for clout, or that he's doing any of those things. He just comes off as very genuine. So when kind of this idea comes up that we need to question Glenn's integrity, and I'm doing the internet call out, where I'm a kind of holier than thou virtue signaling, that I am the new tone policeman of the entirety of the internet. It comes off looking really bad, and this fight with Glenn looks very disingenuous. It looks like it's opportunistic rather than some kind of real beef. You know what I mean? It just looks opportunistic.
Yeah, it really does. I agree with that. I think that to me, it looks desperate as fuck. I'm just going to be honest. The whole thing, and the entire lead up to this, where he came at me on Raging Tomato right after you left, actually. And he's come at me a couple of times. He's now coming at, he came at Easy. And now he's coming at Glenn. It's a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah, well, and remember that Speakeasies who really helped Based Oracle begin to get out in the community and grow his channel. And it was because I was sending people over to Speakeasies chat and told Based Oracle, look, it would be a really good idea for you to engage in these panels, right? Because everyone's always asking, where should I cut my teeth? Where should I start debating? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, just start participating. Well, Speakeasy has kind of a smaller show. Yeah. And so he needs people to come on these panels to debate. So it's kind of the perfect arrangement where people can get some experience cutting their teeth and see if they like it, or not. Well, it turns out most people enjoy having a bit of back and forth. They enjoy having, participate in those panels. And Based Oracle's no different. He enjoyed participating in those panels. But what's interesting is it seems like every person this guy comes into contact with ends up hating him. Who's the common denominator here?
Right. And the thing is everybody else likes each other, right? Like, I get along with Easy, I get along with Glenn, I get along with you, I get along with everybody except BO. And I actually didn't have anything against him until he told me that I washed your balls, which was weird, and I didn't like that, so I don't like him. So
yeah, but again, it's absent likability. So the thing is the guy doesn't need to like me, and he could even engage with you and be like, look, here's some things I disagree with this guy on. Sure. Let's engage, blah, 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 blah. But that's never the kind of seething and overwhelming jealousy which is there. Leads to the, oh, you're a ball washer. You're you know what I mean? All of that really is it's seething jealousy. Like, people don't talk that way unless they're unless they're unless they're upset, right? Unless they're actually upset. I can't believe you support this guy. I can't believe you. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of this it's kind of the seething mentality of a person who is just fucking. I've never thought any after hearing that yesterday.
Well, he did it
So I
while
was
you. By
like,
the way, they arranged that while you were on whatever, which I thought was very interesting as well. They that was
yeah, I don't
it
know.
seemed to be a very suspicious time to have that specific interview.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I'm willing to say that there was anything nefarious going on with that though. So
Yeah, it's just
it
odd.
could have just been the timing. But it doesn't matter. I wouldn't have been able to listen live anyway. But I was
Yeah.
able to go back and listen to some of the highlights, and I was just like, what?
Right,
So
right.
now Glenn's not moderating, and he's a PDF supporter, a PDF file supporter, and
Right.
he's a bad person, and he made this up and that up, and it's just like
So, what's your
all of it
take?
seems like such pedantic bad faith nonsense,
What's your take on Based saying that to Glenn, and then Glenn responding very reasonably that, okay, yeah, sure, but nothing's been proven. We know Zerka does things for to go viral. There's, obviously something wrong because nobody's been arrested and these girls had fake, there's some documentation of a fake ID being used, and there were checks for these girls to even get to Zerka to make sure they were legal. What do you think about the way Base just dismissed all of that as it doesn't matter? He's still a PDF file and you support him. What's your take on that?
So it was actually pretty funny. I was laughing because Bo, he thought it would be fun to throw out this line, right? So Glenn says, well, when the facts are out, I think I'll make a decision then, right? So Glenn, who's been around the manosphere for a long, long time, has seen so many various accusations, setups, LARPs, and various things going on that he's distrustful. He's like, look, it's possible, but there also could be more going on than meets the eye. And until I have some more facts to this, or the facts of the matter, I'm not willing to come down one way or the other. So he's basically just saying, look, I don't feel like right now I have enough information to make a good determination. Now, usually most people would say, okay, that's fair. That's not saying that you won't make a judgment. It's just saying that you don't think that there's enough evidence yet to make a judgment. Okay, that's reasonable.
Sure.
But not BO. BO says, well, when are you going to have enough evidence to make a judgment? So this creates a false dilemma, right? The false dilemma that you're walking into then is that you have to give some threshold for evidence, which is unknowable. It's unknowable what the threshold of evidence would be for it to be convincing to Glenn. Just that there could be evidence that convinces him, right? Now,
Right.
what makes this doubly stupid is our criminal justice system works the exact same way, which is reasonable doubt. So it has to be evidence which a person decides beyond reasonable doubt that the person is innocent or guilty. Well, what's funny about that is that's subjectively interpreted. Reasonable doubt, right? There's no threshold of evidence given. Meaning, if you discover the gun on the scene and the bullet and the guy's fingerprints on the gun and this and that, that doesn't necessarily equate to reasonable doubt. So, so what's the threshold here when he says, "Well, I demand, Glenn, that you tell me the threshold of evidence and when you will kind of render your verdict. And Glenn's like, how the fuck would I know? Just, it would have to be some reasonable standard that's convincing. But the very first thing he does is go to a kind of false dilemma. Very low tier debating, by the way. Low tier. And yeah, I would have ripped that to pieces because that was an insane statement to make it Glenn. But the whole point of making it was to discredit Glenn, right? Like, oh, you have made up your mind, right? You're just covering your ass or something like this, rather than taking the guy at face value that he's just not convinced by whatever the current evidence is, and he wants to give this guy the benefit of the doubt or reasonable doubt until there's enough evidence which gives him, enough assurance that he can ditch the reasonable doubt, right?
Yeah, and I mean, even if you're willing to just say, look, I'll speculate that, my point of view on Zherka prior to hearing Glenn's podcast about how he does this stuff to go viral, my point of view was, yeah, he probably did it and he got caught. So what? He's a degenerate. Degenerates do degenerate things. No big deal. No surprise on my part. Everything's okay. And I wouldn't have come at Glenn about it because even if Glenn is Zherka's friend, he's not his brother's keeper. That doesn't mean that he approves degenerate behavior, right? Like,
yeah, but let's say he was. Like, let's just grant it for a second. Let's grant
it that he's. Let's grant
that he's his best friend. Let's grant that he's his closest friend that Glenn's ever had. That they're like, when they were 10. They grabbed a Coke can and they cut themselves and they smeared each other's blood in the wound and became blood brothers. Let's just assume it. Okay, let's assume it.
I like it.
What kind of shitty friend would you be if an allegation drops and before you have any real kind of standard of evidence or the facts of the case, you turn on your friend?
And no one's been arrested, and nobody's really talking about facts yet.
Yeah, but who would want a friend like that? Who would want a friend who's like, well, okay, this tweet came out, and that's it for you.
It's all the information I have.
It's all the info. Yeah, exactly. What kind of friend would that be?
The most fucked up kind.
Yeah, the shitty kind, right?
Right.
Wouldn't that be the shitty kind? I mean, what doesn't the good friend go with you even to court? He believes you. He thinks that you're telling the truth about things. You have your own side of the case. And then maybe after it all shakes out, you go, okay, well, you're a piece of shit. You fucked up. And maybe now we can't be friends or something like that.
Right? Glenn has a track record of this. When the charges came out against the Tates, he's like, hey, I'm not, they're my buddies, but no, I'm not condemning them. And I'm not saying they're innocent. I'm not saying they're guilty until all the facts are in. And as the facts come in, Glenn's like,
oh, you mean he's a reasonable person?
He is a normal human being with a fully functioning brain.
Right. He's a reasonable person who goes, well, look, because of the various smears and the smear merchants who exist on the internet and all the enemies these various people may have, there could be many people out there who have agendas, who twist facts for their own good, and they can make them look like they're irrefutable until later examined, right? So until I have a good, clear picture, I'm not willing to go to my friend and say that he's a PDF file. I'm not willing to go to this person and claim that they're a sex pest. I'm not willing, you know what I mean? I'm not willing to do those things. That is completely reasonable.
Let's take it another step, Andrew. How about, let's say that because Glenn said, yeah, I'd still be his friend, right? Okay, I can still be friends with a degenerate. I just disagree with all their degenerate acts. I don't have to cut that person out of my life. As a matter of fact, how moral is it if I do cut that person out of my life? Because I should be telling him, hey, fucker, stop doing this stupid degenerate shit. Just like, I'm going to use Beaten Cheeks as an example. Every time he calls me, I say, hey, what's up, degenerate? And I give him crap about.
But there's another guy. There's another guy who's supremely likable and comes off as being very genuine, right? Mm-hmm. And so since he comes off as being genuine and likable, it's really easy to enjoy the guy's company. And and he's willing to engage in those topics, even about his own behavior, and it doesn't bother him very much. And so it's like, where's this idea come from that there's going to be a delineating line or a threshold with a buddy, where if they're doing something you don't approve of, that's just an instant we can't be friends then.
Well, let's take it one step further. Let's say that I disagree with some of the things. Well, we don't have to say it. I disagree with some of the things Speakeasy says. He and I've had discussions about that. I disagree with something Glenn says. I disagree with some things you say. But that doesn't
Sure.
mean that I'm not your friend.
Oh,
It
no,
doesn't
no,
mean
no,
that I'm
no,
not your.
no. It has to be 100% agreement in this cult, sir.
Right.
Otherwise, how
That's
can I
right.
possibly, how can I raise you up as a cult leader? We got to do the pyramid cult
Pyramid
leader
cult.
thing. So yeah, so it's basically a pyramid scheme, but for cults. So, okay, so now you're over the 100-member threshold. So now we have to give you like a culty name. I don't know what
Okay.
that should be.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me
But
know.
as you spread the message of the one true prophet of the Lord, Andrew Wilson, on your show, it's just,
Lord Andrew
but that's
Wilson, the grifter.
all right. But that's what I mean is that, you know, these kinds of things are silly. The truth is that if you had called me and I'd picked up the phone and you acted like a fucking douchebag, I would have just kind of been like, well, I'll see you later. Right. I'm
Right.
not really interested in working with you.
Call me when you're not being a douchebag.
Right. When you're not
Right.
being a douchebag. Very simple. Right. But what's happened instead is, people draw these kind of connections, correlations, and things like this where they don't really exist, and they forget the humanity part of it. That
True.
Zerka's a real person with an online political persona. So where does the persona end and Zerka begin? I don't know. Could all this be a work? Maybe. Could all of this be a publicity stunt? Maybe. Could all of it be true? Yeah, maybe. But a reasonable individual would take a step back and say, well, let's see what happens as this develops over time before I can, make an informed decision.
It's odd so many people lack this perception because
Well,
I
no,
mean
it's
this
not
is the
really.
way.
It's because it's agenda driven. The
True.
perception, you'll notice that the perception aligns with the agenda. So I have an agenda against Glenn Lawrence. Now suddenly I have an issue with, with taking a reasonable stance on waiting for facts to come out on Zerka because that makes Glenn Lawrence look bad. Isn't it interesting how the kind of accusation or the attack aligns with the agenda of trying to attack a third party, right?
It always does, right?
Yeah, doesn't it? Isn't that interesting? That's super weird, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's really interesting to me that one of the things I find interesting is, of all the people that are critical, nobody is, and I'm, again, we can pick on base here. He can't identify anything that you actually do. It's all innuendo. It's all theory, and it's kind of just hype, right? Like the tweets that like the partial tweets that he sent out showing where you accepted his $500 offer and, oh yeah, let's make it 500 more because you've inconvenienced me. Obviously that's you telling him, I don't want to do this, stop. And he just rolled with it. So now it's on him, right? Like I've given you the price of admission. You've accepted the price of admission. Shut the fuck up. Don't.
yeah, my preference is just to never deal or talk about the guy again, right?
Right.
Because
Exactly.
what I don't care about his stupid ass $1,000. I think that's probably quite a bit of money for him, like it is for any normal person, right? And would to a normal person be a deterrent, like a barrier, a threshold barrier.
Right.
But not him, right? Nope. I'm so principled. I have to do this, even at my own detriment. And it's just like, why, right? What are we proving here? What are we
What
proving?
can you gain? What
Yeah,
does he really gain?
well, even if you win, what do I lose?
Right. Well, and
Like,
somebody made that point yesterday. I think it might have been Speakeasy. It could have been Jake. I think it was Easy though. That if Based had just acted in good faith which he's not, it's obvious. If he just acted in good faith, kept his mouth shut leading up to the debate, not harassed literally everybody in the community, had the debate, even if he got shellacked, even if he got completely torn apart, everyone would have respected the fact that he showed up and he did what he said he was going to do, and he didn't make a big deal about it. Literally everyone would have. I would have respected that. Easy would have respected that. Glenn, people we have no idea who even exist would have respected the act of him showing up in good faith, not being not pulling a bunch of bitch ass nonsense ahead of it, and all of this drama that's been that he's at the root of. Everyone would have respected. You would have respected him. He probably would. He probably would have shaken his hand and said, "Hey, man, I really appreciate you going through with it and showing up. Takes a lot of nuts. Appreciate it." I can literally see you saying that. But now look at what's going to happen, or what there's the course that we've set. Right. Look at the course that he's plotted for himself.
Yeah, but none of it's unsalvageable. That's what's so insane about it. So this just now coming down to pride, right?
Yeah.
So the guy could just be like, look, I let my mouth run away from me. Kind of new to this space and engaging with other people, and I'm kind of socially awkward. And hopefully we can just put the whole thing behind us. I think probably everyone would be like, yeah, that's cool, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But no, what'll happen instead is double down, and if the debate doesn't happen, there'll be kind of excuse making. More likely he'll put it on me for some reason. I didn't accommodate this somehow due to being terrified, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's my kind of prediction of shakeout. But the thing is it doesn't seem all completely and totally unnecessary. It just seems totally
absolutely
unnecessary and foolish. And you could take maybe this an opportunity to spend kind of gold out of the shitstorm that you created for yourself. But man, I'm telling you, the kind of idea of internet pride of what will my 7 fans think? It's super difficult for people to get past, and if they don't swallow their ego and recognize that, hey, you are an entertainer. Like I did hear some of the guy's criticisms, right? And I think the kind of primary criticism he'll bring to the table is that I switch between making, depending on the situation, a religious argument, to also backing away from some issues. And then what he's claiming is there's a cope where I'm saying I'm just an entertainer. But the truth is, and I have literally hundreds of DMs to support this, I'm going to print out and I'll bring with me to the debate, that there's hundreds of men who DM me and ask me for advice. And they ask if they can pay me money to give them advice. The emails or DMs will usually start like this. Hey, look, Andrew, you really have a good head on your shoulder. I understand you're a busy man, right? You probably get hundreds of DMs a day, which is at this point kind of true. And I'll say, but I'd be happy to pay for a consultation or to discuss some things with you for a half hour. Just to kind of run them by somebody who I think has a good head on their shoulders, or some variation of that. Okay. And I get these daily. And so what I always tell these people is the same thing, which is, from my perspective, I think that unless I have a really good kind of wide angle view of your life and know you a bit as a person, that it's kind of irresponsible in many ways for me to give you life advice, right? It's actually pretty irresponsible to do that. And so what I tell them is the same thing basically every time, which is, look, I'm an entertainer, and you really shouldn't be contacting an entertainer for life advice, but you should go to your family, or you should go to your friends, or you should go to trusted confidants, things like this, rather than an internet entertainer. And so that's kind of the pretext for why I stay in the entertainment domain, is to not be a grifter. Because the alternative would be, oh yeah, sure, yeah, $500. We'll do a 15-minute consultation. I'll line up 15 a day,
Well,
right?
it's an interesting thing to me because I have heard you multiple times tell people in various streams and chill streams and other lives that they'll ask you about why you won't do a religious debate or why you tend to you will argue a religious point but from a secular view, and you always say without fail that you're not supposed to debate religious views, that you're not qualified, you don't consider yourself qualified, and you would have to ask the church anyway before doing so, and you hadn't, so you won't. And I think that that's a very real take. I think that you're one of the few people I've heard to give that caveat that, hey, this is why I argue from this point of view. And
well, there are men who I know well who are Christian apologists who've devoted their entire adult life since they were 16 in becoming as versed as they can possibly become in the Gospels and in the grounding epistemology and ontology of Christianity, and even the cosmology around it. And they
I'm
have
going to
studied
refrain from the epistemology jokes from last night.
yeah, that was funny. It's the study of the epistles. But
I've got two pistols right back there.
yeah, I've got two epistles back there. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, yeah, they've spent their whole life in that. Okay, and these are people who are highly qualified to have a ministry of that sort, and I'm just not. But what people do is they want to kind of, just so you know, the reason that people try to hammer that the hardest is because they know it's a topic I want to stay away from. And so they feel like they can pinion me easier than if they do political topics, because they know I tend to stay away from religious debates altogether myself for this reason. And so, of course, if you're opposition, you look for a weakness, you try to hammer the weakness. And so, well, let's get into talk about religion, right? And if we get too deep into it, then it becomes Andrew teaching, right? And so he's going to back away. He'll look bad in a debate. That's always the goal. So, yeah, that's why that happens. But again, if I was a grifter, wouldn't the opposite be true? That I would go around and say, no, I'm complete authority on this, and I'm the best, and look at this following, and that's how you can tell that I'm giving a good message, and blah blah blah. Well, you would think that I would do the opposite, but instead, the criticism is that I tell people who are looking for life advice that I'm an entertainer, and that's not the right thing to do as an entertainer, is to start an advice company just because I can. And then secondly, that because there's people who have spent their entire life in the realm of Christian apologetics that can lead people towards a much better salvific message than I can, that I yield to those people. You would think these are behaviors that are antithetical to grifting, right?
I mean, yeah, it's the exact opposite. Absolutely antithetical.
Yeah, you would think that it's antithetical to grifting. That if I was grifting, I would do exactly the opposite. You know,
I said as much just a little over, almost an hour ago now when I first came on, that I've never, that, I, for example, I paid to have your Crucible video site, so I can see the videos. I like the videos. I like the music. I'm waiting for Skankstersis to be uploaded. That would be great if you could get on that. But that's the music's great, the videos are great, everything's great. I get my money's worth, right? And when I send in,
nobody can say for $15 a month that they don't get a shitload of entertainment out of the Crucible. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
So it's I can't see where anybody could claim that you are grifting. Like there are grifters out there, right? Like that promise that they're going to send you a patch or something they never send, or whatever the
Yeah,
nonsense is.
because it's synonymous with swindle. But what's
Yeah.
really interesting is how many people, especially at first, when there was tech difficulties or we had trouble getting the automated system to get packages out to people who had ordered various things. And the reason you don't hear people complaining about, oh, he didn't get our product or he hasn't delivered the video service, the reason you don't hear any of those complaints is because we took each one of those cases seriously and rectified whatever issues there were and did it quickly. I mean, within minutes. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
there's a problem. Well, let's get that taken care of right away. You know what I mean? Let's do it right away.
Yeah.
And that's why where's my sea of accusers? Where's my sea of people who have been swindled by me? Where's the accusers and the people who say that they didn't get their product,
Where the
or
Reddit
that they haven't gotten their video services delivered, that I behind the scenes fleeced them out of some cash for some alternative agreement? Where are these people? Well, the reason they don't exist is because I don't put myself in a situation where I can do you wrong. I just don't put myself in a situation to do that.
I'm not sure I'm not sure how early you got on, but one of the things I was talking about earlier is how one of the things I think that Based is unhappy about, and one of the things that he is, I shouldn't say unhappy about, maybe confused by, is that he sees that you're making money doing this, and he thinks somehow that's wrong, that you're able to do that. Whereas, I feel, and looking at it from my point of view, I'm like, you're an example, right? Like you've laid down a framework, a pathway to making this a viable thing, right? And there's no reason I can't emulate it to some degree. And I'm like, so I have the exact opposite viewpoint of Base. I think that you're not a grifter. I think that you're a teacher that's showing us the way, right? And maybe obviously I can't do everything that you've done, and I can't use the same methods in their entirety, but certainly the framework that you've laid down is very good.
And anybody can use it for free.
Right. And you told me that. You actually literally told me that. Like, but it was like, I think one of the first conversations we had was, hey, look around. If you decide you want to do content creation, which at that time I wasn't doing it, like, look around. If we can help you, we will. We've built a framework here. I think you'd be good at it, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. And there was no like stress or, hey, look at what you can use and then send me a big check. Like there was none of that.
Well, exactly. Well, the thing is same thing. It's really funny. So last night I sent a raid over to Speakeasy, right? And I popped in briefly afterwards, and this was shortly after the whatever chat had dumped in. I was so tired. I was like, guys, I can't even do the super chats. I'm so fucking tired. I'll have to do them tomorrow, which I will. I'll do them today when, we'll do something, a chill stream or an invasion or something like that.
Yeah.
But I may have to fly out tomorrow to fill in on Tim Pool's show. I'm not sure. So I don't know, right? Everything's kind of topsy-turvy right now. But I sent a raid over and I went out and popped in. There was like 1.4 thousand live viewers in Speakeasy's chat at like 6 a.m. in the morning. Creators don't usually do that when there's that type of size difference. They basically never do. The reason I do it for Speakeasy is because I just like his content. I like his panels.
Right.
I like his panel. That's it. I just happen to enjoy his panels. He allows people in the audience to come on and participate and tangle up. It's a good way to cut your teeth in some entry-level debating. And he tends to be a good, fair host. That's it. There's no, you know what I mean? Now, I want to tell you the amount of money that I've charged Speakeasy. You ready? I've charged Speakeasy thus far for $0 and 0 cents.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I've asked Speakeasy for is nothing. So the only thing I've ever asked him for is nothing, and the only thing I've ever charged him is nothing. Which clearly these are signs of extraordinary grifting. you know.
You're a master grifter. You know,
Yeah.
actually, it's the same thing with me, right? You come on my stream all the time. You raid me from time to time. You really actually did help me kind of find a path forward, which seems to be working. You know, gaining a little bit of speed and you know moving forward a little bit. And again, I use you. I contrast you and Brian, the way that you guys have structured your streams and businesses. And you know, I tend more towards you know, just you know, I honestly tend a little bit more towards your side than than Brian's side. I feel like Brian is in a rarefied air, as I would call it, and I don't think I could duplicate it. But I don't see any reason why I can't.
Well, yes,
emulate it to
yet,
some degree.
yet. But the thing, like, you don't know yet. None
Right.
of you guys know yet. All of
Right.
you are super new into, into this arena.
Mhm.
I didn't really start getting breaks and stuff like this and start getting my name out there until about 2 years in, when I started kind of taking, I kind of started taking more interest in wider communities and building these external infrastructures so that people could enjoy and move in very easily to the Crucible, who enjoy that type of content. And then, we made all that infrastructure, all of your advertisements, all of your everything. You can do all over that Discord and other places that the Crucible provides if you're a content creator for nothing. It's totally free of charge. Massive Discord server, right? Thousands
Yeah.
upon thousands of people who go through and find your content this way. It's assisted tons and tons of creators to stack their live viewership up, many of whom don't participate within the Crucible community at all. In fact, most of them don't. KOE doesn't participate in the Crucible community. In fact, if I go through the list of the most of the people who most advertise inside of the Discord, who we drive traffic to, most of them don't actually participate in this community, and we don't care. That's not the point of the infrastructure. The point of the infrastructure, even including Based Oracle, who also used that infrastructure
He
to
did.
market his videos.
That's how I
And
found it.
I never once said a word about it. The entirety of his current following is based around me. All of
Yeah.
it.
I'm going to read Anson Knowles' super chat here. Send in $5. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Andrew's grift is saving minds and making profit. He is the perfect example of who we need to emulate. Ignore the envy of detractors.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I just recently did a fundraising stream for a cause I thought was noble. Yeah, and total grift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I secretly pocketed that money, and they're never going to see any of it. Haha, my diabolical plan has worked. Everything I worked towards so that I could pocket $1,800 in a live stream fundraiser. Ha!
Yeah,
that'll teach them.
Yeah. So you were critical of my one. You were critical of my one TTS a little bit last night. I had to. You said I was right, but I was also wrong. So I thought that was very funny. I actually was going to send in another one, but I went to sleep instead.
Well, I didn't want her to bolt. That was it.
Yeah, I figured it had more to do with
I was
her.
Like, well, we're gonna reel this in. Normally, I'd be the first one on the back of the bandwagon when Grid One sends this in, just like driving the point home. But I really don't want this chick to bolt. And you can get a good feeling for these things, especially if you're on the panel itself, of if a person is, they're getting jumpy, fidgety, they're ready to book out. And I was like, man, if I hit now and don't kind of rein this in, she's gonna bolt. So.
Well, you got her for another 6 hours, so you
right. Yeah. So I would say that's a Andrew 1, Grid 1, 0 on that show. Even though there's many other shows where it's Grid 1, 4, Andrew 0, but that one I'm going to take the W on this one, bro.
Yeah, it was interesting because she was such an old. She didn't even. I guess she didn't look that young to me, right? Like I was like, she's kind of weird to be on the panel. And then I caught the thing about her book, and then I thought maybe she was there because of the book, but then I caught her talking about selling herself and things like that. I was just weird, man. It's just a whole weird conversation. It was a lot of demon going on over on that side of the table. So I don't know. Terrible.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing I don't understand. See, here's the thing. Sometimes, right, secretly, so in my heart of hearts, when I'm kind of alone, I'm playing a video game at night and there's nobody around, I kind of whimsically think to myself, right, that I kind of would like to see the situation reversed for a day, where you could put a guy like Based Oracle in my shoes for a day, and if you did, I bet you all of those things I don't do, he would do. And then if I criticized him for doing those things, he would say you're a hater and a seether.
Oh,
That's what I think. That's what I think.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
So
do you think he's going to show?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
No, I don't. I think I did think he was going to, and
until the end, right? Until the
but it makes no sense to, essentially fire the proxy communicator and the moderator. Say that they're not going to take care of the fees to fly the moderator out, even though I took care of the lion's share of the burden, which is housing for the guy. That makes no sense. You can't have a debate without the agreed to moderator. And it was most certainly, even if you quibble and say emphatically, well, he didn't technically agree to it. There was a reason why in that stream that you guys played, I kept on repeating myself over and over and over to get these agreements.
I knew what it was. Yeah.
And that it was so I could get it on record. And he's like, "Oh, you need it on record, huh?" Yeah, this is why. And this is why I needed it on record. The reason I needed it on record is so that when you started weaseling, right, I had you agreeing to these things 14 times in a row, so that we know it wasn't, oh, I spoke out of turn, or I wasn't sure, or this type of thing. I made sure that I repeated myself so much that it was nauseating, and that he had to agree to each one of those terms.
Yeah.
And he did, and we have it on record. And so that's it. As far as I'm concerned, that's case closed. The 28th, there's a debate. He's supposed to foot the bill for Lawrence to moderate. He's supposed to fly him and Lawrence out. He's supposed to procure some type of studio for us to do this in, if that's what he wants to do. And he pays me $1,000 for we do the debate, and he goes home. Simple.
So why would he not agree? I mean, why would he not? I mean, you're talking about a flight, a rental car, and a couple of meals. I mean, it's not that much, right? And a hotel.
Well, room, right? it depending on your circumstances, it could be a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
For maybe for you, for you could be like, oh, $5,000 trip, no big deal. But for other people, they look at it and they're like, man, $5,000 is 2 years of savings, right?
That's true.
True. But I didn't make any of these agreements.
Well, you wanted him to do it remotely. He demanded in person.
Yeah.
He demanded it.
Yeah, I agree.
And then he objected.
But the truth is I think the more he thought about it, he's like, wait, so Glenn, I'm going to fly Glenn out here. He's going to moderate a debate, which he could lose, right? Well, plus, I have to pay this guy $1,000, and then Glenn and him are going to go out shooting and having a good time, and I'm not even allowed to participate. Yeah, stupid. Well, that was a bad deal. Then why'd you agree to it?
Yeah, I'm gonna miss not being able to go shooting with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the 21st is, or the 28th is coming quick.
I know.
It's right around the corner. I haven't heard any communication about where this is taking place, who our new moderator is, right? Nothing, because he basically found an excuse to dive bomb the proxy who was setting all of this up.
Right. And well, he did he not originally want it to say that it was didn't you give him 8 days before or 8 days after the 28th as well? You even gave him like even if he couldn't make it that day, if he had an important meeting.
Yeah, I wanted
or
to make sure that he
doctor's
had some grace. Like, what if Grammy dies, right? Like,
appointment.
what if Grammy
Again,
dies? Yeah, on the 27th. Okay.
right.
Well, I don't want to hold that against the guy.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give him some grace there, right? That seems reasonable. I didn't do anything that I think is outside of the realm of reason. If I go off to Tim Pool's show, they fly me out, and they fly a moderator out, and they take care of those expenses so that I don't have to. Right?
Yeah. I'll be happy
That's
to be
the
the moderator.
point.
I will be happy to be the moderator. I will be the most impartial moderator you've ever seen, and then we'll go shooting. I'll bring guns. Tiki Tax sends in $20. Take my money, you grifters.
Yeah, fucking grifter. Fucking
My
grifting
wife
piece
will.
of shit,
My
dude.
wife will take that money and spend it on something ridiculous, like food or internet, or pay the Streamlabs or something. I don't know.
Or she'll pay, or she'll take it and it's none of your business what she does. Right?
No, it is my business.
Not you. I'm saying to
Yeah.
the external people, right?
Oh, well, to
Like
Tiki
what?
Tac, Tiki Tac is great. He is an internet legend, and I like that guy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, he's a person who super chats over on the Crucible as well. Nice guy. These are, but this is all of these communities have a lot of good people in them. All of them do. But you can, but that's by the way, that's one of the reasons why they're looked at in sort of an envious way if people don't fit in, or they're not matching well, or people don't want to deal with them. Then suddenly it becomes the fault of it's a grand conspiracy, and the grand conspirator is Andrew Wilson with his quote ball washers, just trying to bring you down, right? Though the evidence to the contrary is that I did everything I could do to help bring that guy up. It just wasn't good enough, right? So
right. Special K, should the moderator be impartial, or does it matter?
No, I think that moderator bias is fine as long as you're not biased in the debate.
Yeah, I mean, right.
So I think I'm a super biased person when it comes to political ideology.
Sure.
But I'm also one of the fairest debate moderators on planet Earth because I understand arguments. And I don't take a side during the debate. I can totally disagree with everything you're saying and still concede that you made a better argument than your opposition.
Right. And that's kind of, I can't add to that. That's exactly pretty much what I was going to say. I mean, me personally, if I were the moderator, I have the ability to be absolutely impartial. I just don't care one way or the other during the debate. After the debate, sure. Before the debate, yeah. But during the debate, no, there would be no, I wouldn't be on anybody's side. And you have to understand, this goes back, Special K, just since you brought that up, there are people like me out there all over the place. I believe that Andrew is one of them. When I was racing, I would loan out my equipment, my staff, parts. I would pull parts off my own car to make sure my competitor could make it on track, because I wanted to beat them on the track, not in the pits. And I believe that if you're any kind of honorable man, that's how you want to see things done. You want to, you have to be at that. There's a point in time where you just have to be completely impartial and not really care about your own personal outlook or views, and look at, I hate to say greater good, because that's not really the right point, but you just have to be impartial and be able to say, yep, this guy's right, this guy's wrong, or whatever. So
yeah, and it's also nice. It's also nice to build a repertoire with your competition. So if something like that happens to you, they take care of you back, right?
Yeah, right. Well, and they don't hold that. They realize that, hey, you know what? Don was really impartial back then and said, take my stuff. And then he didn't have to do that. He could have been a dick. He could have been completely biased towards himself, but he wasn't. And I think people, I think that some people can do that. Some people cannot. I understand that some people cannot. If they hate people, they just hate them. That's the end of it. I'm just not one of those people. So,
Yeah, I think both ways are fine. I think it's fine to hate people and just never want to deal with them again. And you kind of think they're scumbags or whatever it is. I think that's fine too. That's kind of your prerogative. But sometimes, kind of this need, the overwhelming need for, well, I'd like to stand out, or I'd like to be in X position, or this kind of thing, can lead you to doing some pretty stupid things that you probably will later regret.
I mean, we also need to be clear that the moderator is not the one that determines the victor. The moderator is simply there to keep the flow of the debate going, and to
The audience
sure
is going to determine
right.
who the victor is, but who's
I
the
just wanna,
audience?
yeah, I was making sure the chat understood that, because I think that there's some misunderstanding there. So,
Yeah, all the moderator does is call balls and strikes. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Ball, strike, ball, strike. That's it. That's that's the moderator's job.
Right. It's an interesting. This is all great, interesting stuff. So with based, or not, we can't call him with body odor. With the way he's going about this, if he doesn't show, I mean, at that point, does he have? I mean, obviously his credibility's shot. There's all of this stuff.
No, that won't be the case. So,
okay,
I can tell you what the likelihood.
Little foreshadowing.
Yeah, what the likelihood is. He'll bring something to the table, some reason why it was actually my fault. So maybe he'll say, I was trolling the whole time, just to teach this guy a lesson. That's one avenue that he could take. And then any of my haters can go, haha, we got one over on you, which does nothing to me, but that could be a way in which you try to save face. Or alternatively, he could say, well, there's no moderator and I can't trust anybody to do this correctly, or this is moving outside the confines of our agreement, or there's any number of different copes which he can come up with.
Will he appeal to your black ex-wife?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think ultimately, though, as long as there's kind of this the small audience of I hate Andrews, where are they going to go? Right, his stream's the place for them. So I don't think that anything's going to stop that from happening, and I don't really care either way. Right, so no, I don't think so. I think it'll be a blow to his credibility with people who matter, but it won't be a blow to his credibility for whatever little seed gang he has,
Right. What else you got going on these days, Andrew? You got some stuff coming up?
Yeah, I got a shitload of stuff coming up. I got Tim Pool on the 21st.
Tim Pool.
Yeah, but I just got contacted. Today because they wanted to fly me out Friday for another special show against a large libertarian channel to duke that out. But I'm not sure that I can, because I have some other commitments with some smaller channels. Unfortunately, I have some of these pesky commitments that I made. I should blow them off, right? So I could go on to the big show, but I'm just not, I guess, into grifting. So I'm going to kind of keep those commitments to the smaller channels that I promised, even though some of these guys get 4 live viewers. But so what? You know what I mean? If I'm already scheduled on the 21st, then I can kind of keep all the commitments, right?
Sure.
And then, we got a ton of stuff coming on. We got Rachel's debating Saturday on occult feminism against a feminist occultist. So that's going to be, that's going to be a huge debate.
Awesome.
I would say it wouldn't shock me if there's 5,000 plus there for that debate. And then, of course, we have a huge debate Friday, which Zen Shapiro is moderating on theology between 2 huge personalities in the theological world, and that's going on Friday night. So there's a lot of stuff going on just this week, and then moving into next week. it gets even more wild with Tim Pool and Tim Cass in the culture war. And then we have a bunch of other stuff going on. I think there's a dual appearance coming up with me and Rachel together for the first time on a IRL show. I think that's coming up soon too. And we got a ton, dude. A ton of great content coming up.
That's awesome, man. That sounds really great. That's wow. That's really cool. I know you've been working really hard on it, and you've been just, you know, hate to use the tired expression, tirelessly working and improving your endeavor, but I have to be honest.
So is the team. It's not just me, you know. There's
Right.
I have a small team, and those guys, they work their fucking balls off, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they work hard, and you can see everything on the channel. The performance continues to grow, and they continue to grow with the performance. So you see that they make better and better thumbnails. They make better presentation. There's always better lighting. There's always more improvement. Week after week after week, it's always more improvement, more improvement, more improvement. And it's going to continue that way until we get where we're going.
I'm in that same, I'm trying to improve things all the time as well. I try and do something, maybe not every day, but I'm trying to improve things. I don't, I'm not on your level yet. We all know that, but really impressive what you've done there, Andrew. To be honest, just outside looking in, unbiased view, it's pretty impressive. There's no, I mean, I'm sure there are people that work harder, but I don't know that there are people that work harder in the industry that's doing it for more people, right? Like building a community. I think that's the interesting thing, the difference between some other creators that I have caught wind of here and there, and the stuff that you're doing is that you're not doing this just for you. Not to paint you as an altruistic individual, but just from personal experience, I know that a lot of what you do is to help other people, including me. And I haven't paid you a dime, other than like the odd dono chat or something, which is awesome.
Yeah, but I would have gotten the same super chats whether or not I had done that or not.
That's true.
Right. So I mean, that's the funny part is like, ultimately, from my perspective, the way that I think of it, I think to myself, if we have it built, if we have this great infrastructure built, and I'm the only one using it, what the fuck is the point of that? Why not let everybody use it? Let everybody use it. Let them have fun with it. You know what I mean? Let them go in and advertise and talk to people and begin their community building and things like that. It's totally free. I've never charged anybody anything. You don't have to even get a Discord membership, right? I take care of all that cost of that too. I take care of all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, the whole thing. I because I've been, I'm relatively new to the YouTube live stream world, at least. And it's interesting how many people make you pay for things, and you're just kind of like, that's
everybody does, man. Everybody's like, look, if you want to use my brand or my name or my this or my that or blah 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 blah, then you're going to pay me X amount up front, and there's going to be blah blah blah, and here's your monthly fee. I mean, it's very common in this industry. I don't do any of that. I've just never done any of that. In fact, there was a guy who had a good idea for a clips channel. I think you guys probably seen it. It's called the Bloodsport Clips channel. And he makes really good clips. And he contacted me a while back and said, hey, can I do this channel? And I was like, well, I'm not going to be affiliated with it. If you're going to use the branding and this and that to build your channel, though, I'd like 50% of that. I think that's reasonable. And he's like, yeah, it's totally reasonable. I'm like, but if you fail or rise on your own merits, he did a good job, right? He's doing a good job. And I'm not even affiliated with the guy. He just wanted to build his brand out of that. And it's like, that's fine. That's fine. You can do that.
Cool.
No big deal there. But ordinarily the split on that's 80-20. That's the industry standards, 80-20.
That's interesting. So I'm always very interested in how this all works kind of behind the scenes. I'll have to, at some point when you're not ridiculous busy and just, normally busy, I'll have to pick your brain about some of it. Cause it's always,
It works like every other product on planet Earth works. So here's how the product works. In this case, what is the product? Well, usually it's the streamer. The streamer is the product.
Sure.
That the streamer is the brand, the streamer is the product, the streamer is the entertainer. Just like, who's the product when it comes to Metallica? The band, right?
Right. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah. The band's the product. So then the band builds a brand, and they build kind of a massive following off of the brand slowly. Sometimes they catch breaks, sometimes they catch no breaks. Sometimes they're out there for 15 fucking years touring before they get a single break. But either way, they build the brand up and into a fan base, and then the fan base wants to support them because they enjoy the product, which in this case would be their music. But it's no different in the streaming world. There's tons of people who want to make a buck off of your name, and it's usually okay to let them do that, as long as as long as they're not abusing it or this kind of thing. It's usually okay. It's usually not a big deal. There's tons and tons of people who do that. So it's no different than any business. You have a brand for the business. You're selling a product. In this case, the product is you. That's it.
Interesting. Trucking Dude sends in $4.99. Keeping the grift train rolling. Shave your arms. No, I won't do that. I'll send you back your $5. Maybe Andrew will. I don't know.
You shave your fucking arms and show me your tummy right now, boy. You do it right now.
That was crazy too. A lot of people have said that they were introduced to you or the moment that you won their heart was the I can't believe the line you gave Wes about accosting a man in the state of Florida, or something, or in a in the stand your ground state, whatever it is that you said there. I thought that was pretty funny myself. I just don't remember.
Yeah. Do you usually try to attack armed men in Florida? Right.
Right. Yeah.
That's the worst. So I mean, half the people on that stage were packing, and I was just thinking to myself, how fucking insane do you have to be? And then when I said that, he got a lot less aggressive very quickly, moved back over to his side of the stage. And it was just like, it's, the kind of the worst menace to the convict is the armed man who doesn't care. Right. And it's like, look, it doesn't really matter if you're 3 times my size. Mr. 45 doesn't care. So they don't care. It's non-discriminatory. It just makes you a bigger target.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing. I think that's one of the reasons why here in Tennessee you see very few people that actually get overtly aggressive, is because almost everyone here should be considered to be armed. Yeah, if you see somebody, even like I was in Home Depot the other day, and this like super thin, like he was I don't know the exact term. I mean, he looked like just anybody's young dad, right? Like a 25, 26-year-old dad. He had the shopping cart. He was trying to roll a stroller, and he had an M&P, a full-size M&P on a IWB on his hip, and he didn't even bother having his shirt over it because we were open carry, and he's just strolling through Home Depot. He looked like the least likely guy in most places to have a firearm, and he's got a full-size duty gun hanging out of his belt. I'm like, that's why we don't have these problems here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, I'm going to get out of here this morning.
All right, man.
I got some errands. But I did want to kind of pop on and
I appreciate it, man.
Give you, because I noticed you were talking about this, and I thought you'd probably want to hear, my takes about it. So
I always want to hear your side of the story. I always want to hear your takes too, because you're funny, and comedy keeps me going. So
Yeah, me too. But the truth is, still to this day, I still actually have no hard feelings towards this guy. I just don't care enough about him to have any feelings
see,
towards him.
I'm in that same boat, man.
I just don't care enough. It's in many ways, I'll be relieved after the 28th is done and it's settled one way or the other, because
my only real problem. I don't know
annoying.
if you heard this part. I don't know if you heard this part of it. My only real problem is that he lied on stage directly to Jake, right? Like he knew he was on camera. Jake asked him a direct question and he lied, and then they rolled the tape. Now I was behind rolling the tape because I was listening that when that whole deal went down, and I knew that he said that he would take care of Glenn's expenses. And Glenn and I had actually talked about that he couldn't believe that Base was going to actually cover it, like that was kind of shocking. And but he
mouth out there writing checks your ass can't cash.
Nothing like that, man. That gets you every time. Man, I'm not going to keep you. You've been great. I really appreciate you dropping by and having the discussion with me. You have a really great day, man. Get some sleep, catch a nap here and there. And
no, I'm going to it's book royalty day. I'm going to go. You know what I'm going to go do?
Buy guns.
That's right.
That's right.
I'll see you, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Talk to you later, bro.
Bye.
And just like that, he's gone for the hills. I'm sorry, guys. I was not really able to pay any attention to or very much attention to the chat. So if you were talking to me and asking questions, I couldn't see it. I didn't get to it. If you want to engage now, please feel free. I will try and keep up with the chat. If I can't, you are welcome to send in a super chat. Kat, if you would like to be on, I will drop the invite link in your inbox for you, because now that Andrew has left, you can feel safe to come on, and you don't have to hide you don't have to hide in the chat. That's funny. I did road racing. Actually, let me. I'll just play a little bit of this. This is let me grab this. And we'll play a little bit of this. This is actually from the season opener at St. Petersburg.
Herbert there. I believe that's our pole sitter in the touring car class. Tristan Herbert flips the outside wall. We're now on board with Aschenbach coming through that fast King.
Sitting in that third spot right now.
In front of him, that's my car.
Chip Her and Herbert. Boy, look at that, man. That's Herbert's wheel just came off, didn't it? That's the left front wheel of Herbert, obviously, from that contact, Cal. Take another look at it.
Here it is again.
Chip Her down to the inside. There you see the problem. That's why Tristan was slow through that corner. And Chip takes the lead, and Aschenbach is right there with.
We got mugged, boys. We got mugged. Grunge and AWM are PMSing. Here's thanks for the $2. I think they've been awake a little too long. They're probably just having some fun. Yes, that's St. Pete. Yeah, he comes back. Yeah, it's definitely St. Pete. Yeah. I owned the team. I retired in between 2015 and 2016. Me too. I got some good video of that. So yeah. We can listen to that. We can listen to some more here. I don't want to kill too many. I don't want to annoy too many of my viewers here, but we'll go ahead and do a little bit more video here. Give me 1 second. I'll throw a video up. This is actually from my intro that you guys would normally see. And let's see. Actually, no, we'll do this one. What is this one? This is the outlap of St. Petersburg. Would you get the good engine noise? do something else here. I got one for you. Give me a second. I got one for you. Just stand by. Just hang on. Because this is what I used to do, guys. That's all I did. And for a very, very, very long time. And this is actually from my intro. This is rotary engines are actually exceeding down in a 201. Yeah. Picked up 2 seconds.
Got a lot more. There's a lot of traffic.
There is a lot of traffic. We get the head. There you go. The pro driver. This isn't anything. This is what feeling you hear is great. Traffic. It's like a knife through hot butter. How about that? Is that better? All right, so now he's in traffic. Now, some of these are street cars, some of them are race cars. This is an open track day. We were just testing. And so this is a pro driver. He had just been competed in the Scirocco Cup in Germany at this time. And he's a really good driver. And so his lines are clean. Matter of fact, he ran a 158 at this track, which was a track record in traffic. And for that class, it was a track record for that class. You can see this turbo Subaru. He knows that we're back there, right? He knows the car's back there, and he's doing everything he can to stay in front of this, what he considers an inferior car. And this WRX, it's all over the place trying to keep us behind it. But no, we drive by like he's standing still, and that's the end of that. And then this is at Indy Motorsports Park down in Arizona coming up. This is really good. I'm going to pause the video. So we're going to pause that. So Kim Block was my buddy. every time I scroll by his phone number in my phone, I get a little bit sad about that. You know, he had several more good years in him before he needed to kind of move on to doing, you know, like instruction or something. But he was a really good dude, and it was just a really hard thing for it to happen. And I actually have you know, as I get older and older, I have more people in my you know, because I never delete my contacts list. I have more and more people in my contact list that are no longer here. So it's a really sad thing, but it's part of life, and I can't do anything about it. So back to the video. This is my MX-5 at Indy Motorsports Park, and this is an SCCA club race. So the car that he's about to pass, this is a F production Miata that he's passing right now. Now that car's on slicks and weighs like fucking nothing. And this is the least experienced driver I ever had in this car. This just shows you how much of an overdog. The car is just such an overdog because, you know, John, that's the guy's name who's driving the car. John gets a little too hard on the brakes here. He overbrakes into this corner. He gets a little slow. Now he's back on the gas. And his lines are good. And he's coming through here pretty good. And that F-Prod car behind him, I mean, it ought to be smoking him into the dirt. And here he comes, like John once again overflowed for the corner. And here comes this F-Prod car getting closer and closer. So as he comes into this, that F-Prod car, you know, it starts thinking it can get by. It can't get by. It just thinks it can. And as these, so what we're going to see here is the prod car. When John overflows, the prod car can get a little closer to him. But the minute we're back on the gas, he doesn't have the legs, and he's probably geared wrong for the track, to be honest. But it doesn't matter because we just ran a one. You can see the time on the data acquisition there, which I really like, and so you can just see it. Yeah, Chief, you can. Yeah, you should watch the end of Andrew's deal. So, are we not men? Man, we'll see you, bro. We'll have a good rest of your day. Get some sleep. I think you've been up for a very long time. So that's pretty cool. We're doing cool stuff here. I like. I haven't. You know, I dug out a bunch of. I dug out some race footage, but I've got literally probably a terabyte of this stuff from data logs from different tracks. That's the car that was being followed there. And it was a MX-5. So we're going to skip ahead here. There we go. This is Pikes Peak International Hill Climb in the Evo. The Evo is like about 650 horsepower. And it's got a big turbo on it because of the altitude. So we're using nitrous, and that's why you'll hear that whistle. That's the bypass valve going off every time he's on and off the throttle. But you notice that it's just so fast because every time he gets pointed straight and goes full throttle again, the nitrous comes on and it just goes. So yeah, now this is on dirt. This was the second to last year before the dirt. We ran the last year that it was on dirt as well, but not with an Evo. We ran something else. But you can just see this is brutal, man. And you see these dudes just like hanging out. Like, look at that dude. You see that guy? He's like right there, bro. Just sliding that thing, bro. That thing's awesome. Are you driving or are you working that one? And then he's going to go past. I'm going to skip ahead again. He's going to go past the I forget what we call that, midway or whatever. But once he gets past this next section, the engine blows. So I'm just going to skip ahead. This is at Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, Pikes Peak International Raceway in the RX-8. This is JD driving it again. Now you can just see his lines are just fucking clean, mate. Just clean. And then keep in mind, this is super cold, right? Like you can obviously see there's snow on the ground. I think the air temp was like 50, 45, something like that. And so the track temp was maybe 60 degrees on the pavement, maybe not even that much. And he is just hammering this thing. Well, the only answer there, PKFRX, the only answer is Evo. The answer is always Evo. WRXs are expensive hand grenades. So you can just look at JD's lines through here and the way he's carrying the speed. Just ridiculous. So, he's very fast. He's very good. Very good. And he doesn't he doesn't like make mistakes, So, check out his sweet roll through this. And you can see he's tracking all the way up, right? But he's got to be really careful because there's some water up the top of the track. And here he goes by a car like it's standing still. Mainly because a lot of guys are really nervous to go fast. And then here we go. Now you gotta come into this and you just aim and just go. And that's it. So that's that's some of the race foot. That's actually my intro reel, which I'm actually going to change here shortly. And we're going to be I'll have a new intro reel maybe tomorrow, I think. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, the Evo's way better, bro. The Evo just no question. No question. River of Hate. Yeah, it's fun stuff, man. I had a weird career doing stuff, and I did drag race. I mean, we did all kinds of stuff just because I did it all. And that was my career. That's what I did. You guys just saw me in my element when I was working. Might even have a picture. I don't think I have a picture, but we'll see. Yeah, so that's what I did. That was my life. It's the lifestyle I led. That's wrong one. There we go. Did I like racing or building? So I was never a great driver. I'm an okay driver. And I can teach people to drive really well. Like if I started giving instruction again, I would have a full schedule for sure. But at the end of the day, I'm a much better instructor than I am a racer. And part of that is because to be a good race car driver, you need to have what I consider to be a good race car driver, a pro race car driver. You need to have what I consider a controlled aggression, right? Like you need to be willing to do things with a car that could end really, really badly. And so, like, I tell a story occasionally. I had a driver, a guy named Speedy Dan Clark. He was an IndyCar driver. He's a super nice guy, super nice. And Speedy Dan, super great driver. He showed up from Mid-Ohio, and he's like rolling around. We're rolling around. We're having a great time. But all through practice, he's like complaining about the car, the setup, the kind of everything, right? Like, kind of, and he's not like really complaining. He's like, it needs this, it needs that, it needs, and we would respond and we would fix the stuff that he wanted or tweak the things he wanted tweaked. But it really wasn't translating into like a lot of lap time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like we were seeing huge leaps and bounds. And so at some point I was like, this guy's a candy ass. I don't know if we're going to work with him again. And then we have the start of the race. Now you have to understand that the touring car races that I did, which I'm pretty sure Base Street Racer, I don't know if they still did this one. I don't know if he raced with World Challenge or not. I don't know if he might have done IMSA, but we did standing starts, and a standing start is literally what it sounds like. You line up, the flag drops, you roll, you peel out, you burn out, you roll. And so we were a rear wheel drive car on slicks. And so we almost always had the launch on everybody, like literally everybody. All the other cars were front wheel drive cars. So they would lose on the start. They would lose position to us on the start. So at Mid-Ohio, 1st through 11th were covered by under a second, right? Like, we were separated by tenths and hundredths of a second as far as positioning goes. And I believe we started 7th. And so when we were doing, staggered, so we were outside pole, right? I believe. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're inside pole through 7th. And so we're 7th, 4th row, inside car. So flag drops, or the lights go out. I hit, I'm already on the headset. I'm like, green, green, green. And everybody goes. Speedy Dan fucking rockets past everybody. I mean, he goes between Lawson Auschenbach and Rob Holland. He goes between the two cars so that were so close it folded both mirrors on the car. Let me say it again. It folded the rear view mirrors on the car, and he just went straight through. And he went from 7th to 1st by turn 1, which at Mid-Ohio, that's not very far. And dude, I'm telling you, it was crazy. It was nuts. And he and that was at the point where I was like, you know what, we'll keep him. He's not the candy ass I thought he was. And he had he had been basically like I said, he'd been kind of nonchalant, but we led the race. We had a fuel pump, I think, go out in that race, and unfortunately that was the end of our race. I think we got 7 or 8 of the 22 laps in before the fuel pump crapped out, and which was, hey, shit happens, can't do anything about it. But we were leading the race, and it was awesome. So so that's that was kind of one of those things, right? Like, and people, I think people don't really realize, all of the stuff that goes into. I know people don't realize all of the stuff that goes into racing, and so it was bad. I'm glad to get off of the based Oracle topic. What is there anything else besides how about the every good driver has a psycho mode? I say I don't like the psycho mode drivers. I like the guys that are constantly pushing the envelope, and they have a controlled aggression, right? Like they know, and specifically, I like drivers that have raced in Europe, because here in the U.S. in road racing, and this is a holdover from society where we have a bunch of watered down soy boys. What happens is that, let's say that you're we'll end up tamping down some of the racing talk because Cat's here now. So at the what happens in racing is that we in the US we have in most organizations there's a non-contact policy. If you hit another car, unless it's like really looks unintentional or is a racing incident, in some organizations you get what's called a 13-13, which you're on probation for 13 months. If you have an incident within that 13 months that proves to be your fault, they'll kick you out. You get suspended for 13 months. So in the US, it's not, you can't lean on other cars. They really want very little contact in most organizations. Now, when you get, and that's most drivers come through club racing where this is a policy. In pro racing, that policy is basically non-existent. Like you could hit anybody you want. But what happens is you have these drivers that go all the way through club racing, and they've had the non-contact pussified rules where they can't touch anybody, and now they're in the big boy leagues and they're racing against European drivers where the rules are totally different, where they don't care about contact. Like that's just part of doing business. And so I used to tell all of my drivers in the pre-race briefing that bumpers and fenders are consumables. Like we can buy new ones. I don't want them to destroy the car, but if they need to, push a little bit here or there or whatever, that's what that's there for. If we lose a bumper, look, the total cost of a race weekend was, about, per car was about $24,000 for the weekend back then. A bumper is $200. I will gladly sacrifice a $200 bumper to not destroy a whole race weekend, because we go from, our chance at first, because we won't push on this guy, ends us up in fifth. Like we need to finish up front. And so there's no, so I agree. I always had this like controlled aggression kind of like, bumpers are consumables. I prefer if they didn't break the headlights. The headlights were expensive. The headlights were like $1,500 each, and I had to buy them from the dealer or from the factory. And so those were expensive. But the rest of the bumpers and stuff, no big deal. Kat, you do not sleep 14 hours. Come on.
That's the goal.
On. That's the goal. Mm-hmm. The goal is to sleep 14 hours. I don't buy that.
It's very important.
That's gross. How do you not get bed sores is what I want to know. So, but yeah, so racing's an interesting career choice. It's not for the faint of heart. But anyway, Kat, what did you think of what Andrew had to say?
From what I saw, that's like how I would feel about it. He's probably like Body Odor's probably just trying to get some clout, and he thinks this is a good way to go about it, to get some eyeballs on him by starting fights. That's why he's always like nice, and then he just starts a fight randomly.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's randomly. He will just like he'll start saying little things that lead up to the finale, right? So yeah, I don't know. How much of VO Pod's cast did you catch last night?
Not very much. A little bit. By the time I was watching it, he seemed a little bit like down.
Well, that's because he got caught lying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, what is he going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. He got literally caught. Like there's no weaseling his way out of that one. That one was just straight up. You got caught lying. So, did you catch whatever last night at all?
No.
You are so fortunate because they went for like 9 hours. Yeah. And there was a nip slip apparently. I didn't see that. I went to bed. I was a good boy. I went to bed. And they had this this older lady who, my opinion, did look older. I'm not saying she was not attractive. I mean, I'm sure that people find her attractive, but she looked used up. Can the chat confirm or deny that the blonde author, super successful whore, was attractive in like an old woman way? So, and the thing is that at the beginning, I think she looked really pretty. I mean, I think it was the midnight effect, right? Like at 6 o'clock, she didn't look too bad, but by midnight, she looked like some pretty rough road. She looked used up. Yeah. Oh yeah. The narcissist was attractive. Yeah. No, I think that at the beginning she probably looked okay, but as the night wore on, she wore out. See what I did there? That was a joke.
The second one from the girl in red.
Yeah. That's oh wait, that was the wrong one. There we go. So people have been listening to you, Kat. Like that old lady from Something About Mary, leathery.
Yeah, well, that has nothing to do with age. That's being out in the sun.
She looked like a worn out leather handbag. That's brutal, man. God. Dang, man. That's terrible. Anyway, so she was I don't know that I have words here because she was out there, bro. You've got to watch it. It's I'm going to say that the lighting and the video quality in the whatever studio must be exceptional to make her look good. Anyway, so it was literally the me hour for her for 9 hours. I think she talked 75 or 80% of the time. And it was crazy. The things that were coming out of her. She has kids, by the way. Just throw that out there. And she's from California. So that's a, obviously for me that all of that's disqualifiers. But what was the thing that really got? So the thing that really got me was that she like the epistle thing. Oh, I gotta play this. I have to. Let me hang on. I'll just entertain the chat for a moment, Kat. I will. I'm gonna help you out here.
Okay. What is going on? I do not know.
You don't know?
I don't know what to say.
I do not know what's going on. You didn't want. Here we go. Let me show you this. You ready?
Yeah. I just answered your question. Can you tell me what epistemology means?
Epistemology is the study of the epistles. I mean, you can. I told you that a husband and wife is supposed to be the representation of God and the church. He said he's a husband. I asked him if he sees himself as the embodiment of God, and he said no. That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, what is the epistles?
The epistles are the apostles. Are you talking about the apostles?
No, what can you?
It's the study of the epistles. You can't make this shit. And so she believes that everyone has their own energy, and the way that you put out your energy is whether or not you sin. That sin is the energy you put out. It's not right or wrong. It's not a sin for her to be a whore. It's not a sin. It's not a sin. She actually said that. And so Andrew's like, so if I kill somebody, that's not a sin. So if my truth is that I'm a serial killer, I can go around and kill people, and you can't say that's bad because that's my truth. Her truth is to be a promiscuous trollop. And
it's a good one.
Solid Snake says, I think I contributed to the patriarchy. Yes, you did, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really need to start doing obscene profit breaks like Andrew does, which is a cue from Rush Limbaugh. I need to trod the path that others before me have laid out. The Farney grid. How about when she considered her kids 11 and younger to be adults? I did not see that, but I 100% can believe that she said it because I went to sleep, guys. The funny thing is that I didn't realize how bad it was because I went to bed. I was like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Took a shower. I came back. She was still talking. I really thought that they would let other people speak, but no, she was still talking. I had some food. I went out and chatted with my wife. I came back. She's still talking. I'm like, holy crap. I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, take a leak. Guess what? She was still talking. And I was like, why is she still talking? And she was still saying the dumbest shit you've ever heard. Like, and she believes it. And she wrote a book about it. You can buy it. I mean, I don't advise you to, but you can buy it.
What was the book called? What was it about?
I don't remember. She just kept referencing, you can read this in my book. You can study it in my, maybe it's more than one book. Does anybody know? Chat might know. Yeah, and apparently she was very, very close to did I hear about? Oh, yes, we've got to talk about Ben Thorpe. Yes, we do. Ben
Why?
and Grace.
Ugh.
Oh, you don't know.
Do I want to?
All right, yeah, we'll get off of the trollop for a moment. We'll come back to the whore train in a few minutes. So you remember how I've been saying for like 2 or 3 weeks that I thought Ben and Grace were together and living in that RV, right? I was fucking right. They arrested Ben last night. He was, you know where he was? He was hiding in the bathroom of the RV. Yeah. Oh yeah. And Grace was like the whole time, like, I'm not going to open the RV up. I'm not going to do that, blah, blah, blah. And they got a warrant. They opened it. They arrested him, took him to jail. She live streamed the whole thing. She was so broken up about it that she was taking super chats the whole time. So again, I think that like 9,000% of the things that they do is all for somebody's got me some vids about something. We'll find out. Yeah, I think everything they do is for content, man. Like literally everything. Says that yeah. All right. So let me see what I can do here. I'm got my screens all maximized and everything. I'm not set up to take in stuff. Cat, entertain the chat, please. Sir, ma'am, miss. Do you go by miss or ma'am?
Yeah, they both sound terrible.
You didn't go Miss. I feel
No.
like Miss is appropriate, right?
Cat. So let's see. Yeah, I don't think anybody should look at Grace and her dad. They're weirdos. I think it's creepy. I don't want to speak when they're around. I don't want to be on when they're around. It's just really cringe and sick people on the internet and with mental illness, and you're giving them attention, which makes them more sick and mentally ill.
That, I mean, you're not wrong. There are definitely sick, mentally ill people. I mean, you're not wrong about that. So, I don't know that. I kind of feel like that I almost feel bad for them, right? Like, on the one hand, she does this stuff. It's just crazy. On the other, like, what is, like, is she like, is this Stockholm syndrome that we're seeing?
So many mental illnesses just jumbled into
So
one
many.
person.
So many. We can't name them all. All right, so we got another clip here. Thanks to whoever sent me the clip. I mean, I don't want to out you, so I will we'll keep this mum. Mum is the word. By the way, guys, if you have not subscribed, liked, hit the notification thing, whatever, please do so. I'm
Send your PayPal? Yeah, I need all the help I can get. I guess. Send your PayPal?
right? Come on. It's gross.
I mean, you don't put yourself in that situation on the internet.
Yeah, but they do. I mean, again, I think that 110% of the things they do is for clicks. Like, it's so fake. Like, I mean, except this is what's really strange is this is real. Like, this is real. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So don't Spartak. It went wrong way before that, bro. It went wrong way before. No, they have no shame, man. They and like during the whole time she was like laughing and giggling and like, and then when she like realized that she needed to be kind of the opposite, remorseful, sad, and instantly tears. So crazy. All right, let me get the other clip up. I'm sorry. Yes, this is the Catholic homeless girl that lives in the camper with her dad, who she was banned from, or there's a order of whatever, order of protection or whatever, a restraining order basically between her and her father being within a mile of each other, some crap like that. And they've been living together this whole time in the RV. They've been streaming. My guess is that, well, I'm not going to get into my guess. I have spies everywhere. So it's I don't know what to say beyond they're just totally disingenuous. It's just a grift. He's going to do 60 days in jail over this, though. Think about that. 60 days. Yeah, she was. Yeah, absolutely. She was absolutely talking about how she had 300 live viewers. And so I did not know this, and I'm not going to out the people who told me this, but she has pay pigs that literally come to her and give her money. And I think one of the pay pigs believed her nonsense that she wasn't with her dad, but saw something or whatever while he was there, because there's only a few people that could have known where they were. Right. I mean, this was they're supposedly at a campsite somewhere, it's so it's a real thing. Right. So it's just so crazy, man. So crazy. And they're just professional grifters. I don't really like to talk about them too much other than as a precautionary tale, because this is what happens when people are on the internet too much, or perceive the internet as their life. Let's here's a
Oh. Yo, where's the hype train at? Where's the hype train? Hey, at least everyone will cover us.
At least everyone will cover us. Oh, you fucking genius. You madman, you. Either one of them could have dropped, if their ratings, if they weren't getting the live viewers, either one of them could have dropped a dime and said, you know what? It's time to up the views, baby. Time to generate some controversy. It's like Zerka, right? Like the same thing with Zerka and the underage girl, right? Like the problem is that Zerka was at least trying to keep legal. In his case, he I mean, look, if you fly too close to the sun, at some point you're bound to get burned. Yeah, he's going to do 60 days. I mean, that's 100%. Like that's no question, because he's already disobeyed it once and did 30 days. And now, the same order is in standing, and I don't even think he gets to go before a judge. I think they just process him in and he does 30 days or 60 days. But I don't know, because it's California. What the hell? So, Angie girl, I haven't seen you in the chat before. Good to see you in the chat. Real fucked up, and agree. Sad when there's so many other options to choose from for channel content. Absolutely. Really interesting. Yes, and he made her that way. I mean, you have to understand that this has been going on apparently for years. Like this is what they do. This is the family business. So that could be. I don't know, but it could be. It is interesting though that they'll lock him up for 60 days, but they won't lock up a guy who steals $1,000 worth of iPhones. Yeah, whatever. I would not know. Never been. I didn't even know she had a page. Although it makes sense when you say it out loud like that. I believe they're in California. I could be wrong, but I believe they're in California. They could be. They could be in Michigan or somewhere like that. They could be, because there's some pretty fucked up people in other places. You think in Rhode Island? That's even worse. That's like serious blue. Yeah. Maine. The fuck they're in Maine for? Jesus. Just another day in Thorpe content. Right, yeah. So I had her on my show once, and I was on a panel with her on Glenn's show. She quit both times. She doesn't like me. I don't play along with the moral outrage. I just, I don't. And she's like, "Come on, man, this is good content." And I'm like, "No, it's dumb. Don't do that. This stupid. It's not good content. It's bad content. It's wrong channel. Wrong channel, chick. So, but I actually have things to do today, guys. I wasn't planning on streaming at all. Speak bullied me into it. Really shamed me into streaming. It's been good though. What do you think about the news of the terrific U.S. economy? I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Joe Biden's leadership. He's definitely getting my great grandfather's vote. I'm sure he will. I'm positive that is what's going to happen. I can't really talk too much about the economy without Kat's eyes glazing over and she starts playing with a ball of string or something. And yeah, rage quits are awesome. It's true. That was very funny. The way that I kicked her dad that one night was just awesome. Like, it was hilarious. I think that's when Speakeasy and Glenn knew I was a real G. Let's see. Yeah. So my take is that it's very interesting what's going on in Congress right now with the congressional hearings. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I just think it's interesting. I think that every day more and more people come out with how really terrible the economy is, and yeah, give me one sec, Bill. I think people are trying to gloss over how terrible the economy is, but right now the average family needs about $11,000 more a year than they did 2 years ago to buy the things that they buy every day. Just to fulfill their normal daily requirements, they need $11,000 more a year than they did previously. And I'm not sure how many people have gotten raises. Both of the people on this panel both of the people on stage right now are unemployed. So, and unemployable. So that's pretty terrible, I think. So, yeah, so I don't know, man. That's I think it's interesting. I don't have a real opinion on that. I do actually. I don't know where all my mods are. I think my mods are still asleep because I'm actually this is about when I would go on. I would be on right now for my day shift. I guess I'm doing a day shift for today. I probably do need another mod. Kat, can you take it away while I make mod? Bill, I need your info.
Why am I unemployable?
I'm the one that's unemployable. She can get a job.
Me? No.
With that. Yeah, you can.
No, I doubt it.
Welcome back, Overlord Clay. What the fuck is it? Is that Clay? What? You're gonna have to give us some information. Oh yeah, she mods for Glenn, I think. I'll make some mods. I just need I need information. I need your info. You have to go to Discord or give it to somebody. Oh, that's true. Bay Street Racer. I can give some. I have a lot of mods. Send me. I don't need your military ID. I just need your YouTube ID. I can't make you mod till I know who you are. That's what it works.
Why do we need mods? Is it because you're not allowed to say stuff?
Huh? What?
Why do you need mods? Is it because you get in trouble if they say something?
Did somebody ask that, or you're asking me that?
I'm asking.
Well, generically, it's just to keep the trolls out of the chat. That they'll give them timeout or whatever, and that's generically the reason why you need mods. The reason I tend to need mods more than anything is to call my attention to things that are happening in the chat, to do the if I want to bring somebody up and put them on the panel, they can work the Discord and all that. Because I'm supposed to be focused up here, eyes up here. My eyes are up here, and so I usually just say, if somebody if somebody wanted to be on the show, I'd be like, hey, just get with the mods and they'll sort it out, and they'll give them the Discord link, and then they go to Discord. The mods vet them to make sure that they're actually, like somebody that probably is okay. And then they give them the link, or I give the mod the link and they give it so people can come up on the panel. And that's just how that kind of works here. I don't know what other channels use mods for. I'm not up for that. So, and there's only 2 mods that can make other mods. And they all do want power. That's true. Yeah. So, yep. And that's how we do that. Yeah, I mean, so Jake had a bunch of trouble going on last night. He only had 1 mod, and his chat was going crazy, and the mod was in and out. So I threw it out there to make Grunge had a mod, and he did. So yeah, that's basically what it is. Cat, not chat. Cat, is anything cool been going on? I know that you've had a couple of rough days, but has anything cool come out of the last couple of days?
I want to do a debate with Teriak.
You want to do a debate with Teriak?
Yeah, but I'm trying to wait until he wakes up. Yeah, whatever.
What kind of debate are we debating Teriyaki for?
I mean,
good afternoon, Cheryl. Are you I don't know which audience you've come from, but welcome so much. Keep going. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Something about if women can wait until marriage for sex if they're no longer virgins.
Oh, that's Brian's stupid argument.
I know. So Teriak agrees, so we're gonna battle it out.
So you think, wait, what side are you on?
I think you should stop whenever, as soon as possible, no matter what you did.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let me I got stuff going on here.
So if anyone has like really cute leprechaun gifs for me to use for my intro, send them my way.
Leprechaun memes.
Yes, all of that stuff.
You're not talking, Cat.
Okay. So I will not go on the whatever podcast. That's not going to happen. Maybe Fresh and Fit, but I don't feel like anybody's watching that as much anymore because they're like not on YouTube.
And they're not like, they don't bring on hot chicks. You would be the class of the act.
I mean, neither of them really do anymore.
I gotta say, last night's panel was okay, but you're right. The last few panels on whatever have been kind of busted. Busted. So, yep. Let's see if I can do this another way. Let me do the, because I've done this before. There we go. Let's try this. Nope, can't do that. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, so I-Fi's bad faith, and he's look, he's welcome to come and chat. I'm not going to platform him anymore. You shouldn't, again, I don't like people misrepresenting things and all of that. So, that poor guy he's delusional. That's for sure. Something wrong with that guy. I didn't ban you. Could have, but I didn't. Bill Hicks, find me on Discord and send me your info. So, Viking in the house. Didn't mute my phone. Whoops. Yeah.
Oh, what did I-Fi do that people are mad at him now?
I'm not mad at him. He's just disingenuous. So basically what he did was, in my server on Discord, he was basically saying that Andrew would not debate, and I should have asked Andrew about it when he was up here, but Andrew's already answered this too many times. He wouldn't want to do that. Basically, he was saying that, well, first of all, he says that he won the verbal combat between him and Andrew from a while back. He linked it at some point. I watched it. He did not win. He lost pretty clearly. Now, he may not accept that loss, but he lost. Then he told me that Andrew would. So I was in the conversation because it was on my panel, where Andrew asked him, or he asked Andrew to have a discussion. And Andrew said, I no longer have discussions with people because they act in bad faith and turn it into debates on things that they've given me no chance to prepare for. And it's just ultimate bad faith. And so I no longer do it, period. It has nothing to do with I-Fi. It has nothing to do with anything. He would tell anybody the same thing. I don't do it. You have to debate me. And so I-Fi said, well, I'll debate you. Andrew said, okay, that's fine, but you have to have your camera on most of the time. Like, if you're eating or you need to go to the bathroom or something, you put up an avatar, that's fine. But he's not debating a placeholder. And I-Fi, that's a deal breaker for I-Fi. I-Fi won't show his face. He will not turn his cam on. He operates from the shadows, and there's nothing wrong with that. Many people operate from the shadows. I don't care. But you can't cry foul when the rules have been explained to you and you choose not to accept them. The rules are Andrew no longer does discussions in a formal discussion, right? He no longer does that. He will do a formal discussion, kind of marketed as a debate. But only on camera, and he only debates on camera. So if you're not willing to do that, then there's no point in arguing or bitching about there's no reason about arguing or bitching about it. So and that's just the rules, and that's actually the rules for all debate as I understand it. If you're going to have a debate, then you have to do it face to face, right? that's just the rules. And I-Fi doesn't want to play by the rules. So what he wants to do instead is he wants to run around and snipe from, these various positions of, oh, Andrew's scared of the little seashell. Oh, and I'm like, you know what? Cool, dude. Whatever. I was there. I heard the whole thing. That's not the way it went down. And so, just be you, man. I mean, it's cool. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not angry. And look, nobody, the thing here is that nobody's angry. I'm not angry. Nobody, as far as I can tell, literally nobody is unhappy with him. Nobody cares. Nobody, like, literally nobody cares. If you would be hard pressed to, you'd be hard pressed to find anything where Andrew's like, yeah, I'm just not going to do it. So that's just the way it is, right? So it's and so I don't agree with, I guess that's basically it, right? I just don't agree with I-Fi's stance on it. I feel like that it's disingenuous to continuously repeat that. And I'm sorry, it's just the way I think. That's the way I think about it. That's the way I'm going to continue thinking about it. And so I will tell everyone to not platform I-Fi at all. Like, don't put him on your show. If somebody's gonna, it would be one thing if Andrew had said, okay, you have to do it this way, and I-Fi said, yeah, okay, I understand, no problem. I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's cool. You're acting in good faith, fine. But if you're not going to do that, if you're going to run around and play the victim, then I don't want to platform you. I don't think anybody else should either. So, and I get it. So, yep. Right. And look, I just understand this is to be the way of the world, right? Like I did not know. So so I have personal experience with this. When I first started my channel, you can go back and look. I think it's like the first 3 videos. I had this moron come on and I decided that it would be smart to debate him. Or actually, I didn't even want to debate. I wanted to have a discussion with a feminist. And so Josie went out and found me a feminist, a dude. And I'm like, I brought him on, but he wouldn't put his he wouldn't put up his cam. He just refused to. So I'm like, I didn't know any better. I'm a new guy. Don't know the rules yet. And the guy, literally every single time that I asked him a question, all I heard was typing in the background of him just punching keys, talking back and forth to people about how to address me. And I wasn't even debating him. We were supposed to be having a discussion. And, but he made it a debate. He continuously made it a debate. I don't know how many people were actually involved on that debate, because I know that he was on DGG. I know that he was on Destiny's server the whole time, because Josie was on DGG server the whole time and telling me that he's asking questions and so it's completely bad faith, right? And so since that experience, I'm solidly in Andrew's camp, solidly. Like 100%. If you were going to if you're going to have a serious discussion or you're going to debate, you need to have your cam on. Now, if we're just jacking around and I can kick you off, the important thing is I can always kick you off if you start becoming a problem. But I don't want to. I would rather not. But at the same time, I'm not stupid, right? I'm not going to let my stream get taken down because of some moron. So it's anyway. So that's where we're at, and that's why I don't have I don't put iFi or Phil or whatever the fuck he wants to call himself. I do not platform him. I recommend nobody platform him on anybody's platform at all. So Bill Hicks in your upside down country, go to bed. You know, just go to bed. It's easy. Yeah, it's always going to be a debate. Literally every single time iFi wants to have a discussion, it's a debate. Be careful of generally specific. Okay. Why? What is he? What's his story? You can go to Discord and PM it to me. You don't have to out him in public or anything. But I wish you would. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's mean. I wouldn't. I don't mean that. So yeah. 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 All right. So yeah, so if you're that's just my take on it. Anybody have any different take? I mean, are you guys just listening to me rant while you work away? Oh, okay. I didn't. I'll try and watch that. You also have fidgety guy, case in point. That's true, but I smoked that dude into the dirt. That was very funny. Kat, were you here for that?
No. What happened?
That was pre-Cat. That was that's funny. This fellow fidgety guy who is another one of those guys that has an opinion that you must hear. You're not allowed to not hear his opinion. By the way, thanks Solid Snake for the $1.99 US. We all know that the only that's the only real money. So we'll just thank you for it. So fidgety guy came in and he was he wasn't debating. He questioned me on a actually didn't question. He made a statement about that the influx of undocumented folk, that we couldn't show that they had been a strain on resources or the economy. And I'm like, well, obviously we can't. And he made some other really ridiculous comments, and I proved him soundly wrong. And as far as devaluing property, right? He's like, well, there's more people, the value is going to go up. Yes, but not if they can't afford it, dummy. Like, you're talking about people who walked across the border. They're not buying $600,000 houses, but what they are doing is they're buying up all the $100,000 houses and putting 8 families in it. So there's 20 people or 30 people in a house that was meant for 4. And now the legit, newlyweds trying to start a family that would need a 2 or 3 bedroom house in the 100,000 or whatever dollar range, then now they can't buy it. Now they have to buy an upmarket house because there are none left. And so that's what leads to the problems in the housing market. And he would not accept facts. And he ended up spurging out, and he rage quit, actually. Rage quit. It was very funny. It was a great deal. And then he went over to Josie's stream, and I think he was actually debating her. He might have been on voice, and so I bodied him, and then he went over to her stream, and Josie bodied him, man. You got to that's got to be that's got to hurt. That's got to sting a lot, because Josie's not the best debater, right? And she doesn't really know a ton about economics or finance or any of that. So just blew up. Yeah. So but Fidgety Guy, he's a weird dude. He's still around somewhere. I think he's probably changed his handle like 4 times. He might even be in the chat today. Fidgety Guy, you out there, buddy? You got anything to say? So okay. Yep, I got all of the stuff on Discord, guys. I just can't keep going back and forth. So that's pretty fucking funny. I like that. The enemy of every leftist is reality. Yeah. The aristocratic utensil is reality. That's pretty damn funny. Yeah. Damn, that's cold-blooded, man. That's fucking brutal. I'd off myself if Josie served me any type of ill. I mean, she's bodied like a couple of. So what was that the guy who was spurging out in here, Kat? Bill or Dave or John or something like that. He was from Biopod, and he went over. I wouldn't put him up on the stage because Andrew doesn't like him. And then he went over and Josie bodied him, and then he came on again, and I made him rage quit in 2 sentences. It was awesome. And then it was really hilarious how quickly he rage quit. And then he went back to Josie's stream, and we live streamed it, and he got bodied so hard, and then Andrew bodied him. I mean, it was just like this dude never got off the mat. You know what I'm saying? He was the dummy, the dummy. All right, Solid Snake, another $1.99. I'll be sure to send Russian currency the next time. Just kidding. Yeah, yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you send the Russian currency? Thank you for the $1.99. I'm going to have to start doing obscene profit breaks, to maximize my earning potential so that, I can send Cat like a few bucks for cat food. So that was mean. That was mean. If Dave was here, Dave would say something about a backhanded comment and then spurg out and say he's not going to answer my question. So. I don't know what the medical stuff here. That seems like that seems like Overlord Chai. That seems like some like cat speak. You that's a cat. Those are cat subjects.
What?
Abdominal bands and women's health stuff. That's not me. I don't talk. That's you. You do that. Seen profit break, comrades. I think it'll sound better if Overlord Clee, whatever that is. However you say that. We got to figure out how you say that. Or heart. Okay. All right. Her heart doesn't have to pump so hard. Okay, I got it. Neat. I did not know that. Is there anybody live right now? I want to go. I need to go finish my breakfast, which is now lunch. I was like, I wasn't even planning the stream at all. Easy guilted me into it. He's like, go stream. And I'm like, I mean, okay, sure. Why not? I am setting up memberships, man. The membership should be live. If I can get a few free minutes today, I might be able to get them live today. We'll see. I have intro music. And a segment dedicated to profit. You know what? That's great. I like that. Anson, buddy, I like it. That's great. Oh, new Matt. Link me up, Cat. Send me a link. I will make it happen, Captain. Go talk about gold. Gold. The only kind of money Cat cares about, the gold kind. Anson Knowles was in radio for a while. That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's cool. I always wanted a pirate radio station. I saw this movie called Pump Up the Volume when I was a kid. It was fucking awesome. And I really should have throwing Clover Tax on there too. That's awesome. Let's do that. That's sweet. I like both those guys, and you guys are gonna like them too. They're awesome. So let's do that. Let us do that. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it a morning. Or an afternoon. I need to go get some lunch. I will be back on at 8 o'clock, 8:05. We go live. Cat and I. Cat will get some catnip or whatever it is that keeps her looking like a cat, and we'll go there. See you guys. Have a great rest of your day.